Darien, real close to there, getting ready to go over 55. You folks need to get yourself immediately into a shelter. Observe tornado damage threat. I'm going through some things as the information comes through here. All right, here's the deal, folks. Okay, at 11:15, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Darien. Over Darien, you see that bright white ball on the radar, right there over Darien. See how you got the reds against the greens? That's the tornado over Darien, right? So it takes us about 5 to 7 minutes for the radar to actually update itself. Well, that tornado was located over Darien, over far east Woodridge, moving east at 45 miles per hour. We've got confirmation from the radar of debris with this tornado moving over populated areas. Also had spotters that confirmed that there was debris when the tornado went over I-355 and left debris on I-355. So again, you notice the areas that where we've got all this, that's going on right in the middle of the screen. There you go. Look at that, right over 55 now. Boy, that is right in the middle of your screen, just to the southeast of Darien. Again, a large confirmed tornado, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Darien about 3 minutes ago. So now it's getting ready to cross over 55, and it's going to continue to move very quickly. I'm just going to leave it on this particular mode. We're going to use that bullseye right there in the screen, that orange dot. Now remember, this is moving east at 45 miles per hour, so it is moving very quickly. It is not taking a long time to get from point A to point B. So let's go from where that dot is right now, east at 45 miles per hour. Boy, it even goes beyond as far as I zoomed out. So I'm going to have to make my map even a little bit wider to try and give you an idea of just how wide or just how quickly this particular thunderstorm, this tornado, is moving. So hopefully we can get that, this is a wide enough view now to get you out. There we go. So some of the areas, Willow Springs, 11:24, Oak Lawn, 11:31, Calumet, 11:45, Ogden Dunes at 12:11. Now there are some other warnings that are in place right now, folks. There are some severe thunderstorm warnings that are going on in many locations. I just want, basically anywhere, if you're watching this right now, find yourself to the lowest part of your home, get yourself away from windows, and let these thunderstorms blow through. But the one that we've got the most concern with, and this is coming from the National Weather Service, not often do you start to see some of the wording coming out that the way this is set up, but you had a confirmed large tornado. They were talking about an extremely dangerous situation with a tornado over Darien. This was at 11:15. And it's near, far eastern Woodridge, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Radar confirmed debris was being picked up in this tornado. We had a spotter that saw the tornado going over 355, left debris behind. I'm going to go ahead and turn off that particular, the cone that I had there, because I want to be able to zoom in again. Really want to use this bright bullseye right here, right over 55, just to the southwest of Burlington. And as fast as this thing is moving, it is probably east of Burlington now. But again, it takes roughly 5 to 7 minutes for the radar to update. So it takes a minute. So that, that's why you're not going to, sometimes the actual thunderstorm is beyond where you originally, or where you see it on radar. It's actually moved beyond there already. And you also notice, now here we go, we just got an update here. You see Burlington, where that particular thunderstorm is, but also notice the bright white that extends further toward the south. That is an area we're talking about strong straight line winds as well. So this is all something we got to keep an eye on. All of this certainly, but this is going to continue to move off towards the east. So if you are just now catching up with it, if you're just now catching up with us on what is going on, we have a very dangerous situation with a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado that was located over Darien. This happened just a little bit ago when we had this particular thunderstorm that was ongoing. So we're going to go ahead and put it in motion here. You can see, watch that bright, there we go, just out the Burlington Ridge. Now, if you're in Justice, you need to get yourself certainly out of harm's way here. That's what it looks like on radar. I'm going to zoom out for you just a little bit, but you saw there that bright ball there that showed up on the radar. So we've got debris that's been seen by radar. We have debris that was seen by individual. There was a storm spotter. Let's give you the warning again, exactly what it is. Boy, this covers a large area now. We've got a couple of different tornado warnings that are in effect. Let's go through them. You've got a tornado warning that was for an observed tornado for northwestern Will, southeastern DuPage, south central Cook counties. This is going to go for a little while longer. It's trying to get 11:15. Actually, this goes to 11:45, so you got another 23 minutes on this. But we did have a tornado that was located over Darien. That was continuing to move toward the east at 45 miles per hour. Everybody in the path of this storm, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is not a rural area. This is a highly populated area that is being impacted by these thunderstorms to kind of give you an indication of what we're talking about, the number of people that find themselves in the tornado warning for Cook, DuPage, and Will counties. Over 1 million people. We're talking about Bolingbrook, Orland, Worth, all being impacted by this particular thunderstorm. So we got to protect ourselves. And then you also have one that's further towards the north that includes Downers Grove, Lyons, Proviso, and York. So that too is an area that we have a very close eye on. So this is the radar for you. We're talking about last check, that thunderstorm producing the tornado was probably over Burlington or just to the east of Burlington. So it's going to continue for areas like Burbank, Evergreen Park, Inglewood. You all need to get yourself into a secure location, into a sturdy room as soon as possible. This thunderstorm producing the tornado, moving to the east at roughly 45 miles per hour. So a fast-moving storm. You don't have much time to protect yourself. But some of the locations that may be, the storm may slam into if it continues on its easterly progress at 45 miles per hour. Burlington, it's already there. So it's right on top of you. Willow Springs, basically on top of you. Oak Lawn, 11:35. Calumet, 11:49. Westchester, 12:23. You see these times, and you want to trim maybe, let's say 5 minutes off them. Get yourself into a secure location now. Tornado warning continues. I'm just getting this from the National Weather Service, so just bear with me if you can. Observed tornado. Damage threat considerable. We got hail, maybe 3/4 inch for Cook, DuPage, and Will counties until 11:45. At 11:23, so a minute ago, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located over Willow Springs or over Justice, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Now, this storm has a history of producing damage across southern DuPage County. The radar has seen debris lofted thousands of feet into the air. So this gives you an idea. We have a very, very powerful tornado that's going on right now. Again, give you an idea of where this is. Let's zoom in on what we're talking about. So we just mentioned some of the areas, right? Willow Springs, Justice, moving east at 50 miles per hour. The radar has been able to pick up debris from this tornado that's been lofted thousands of feet into the air. When it crossed 355, a trained spotter saw the tornado. It left debris behind as well. So it gives you an idea of what we're dealing with right now. I want to go back to these velocities because this really shows what's going on quite well. But let's see if we can get some reports to show up or not. Hopefully we can. It doesn't look like that's been populated quite yet, but eventually it will. But again, we've had a lot going on here, trying to get everything. So I'm going to go back to this radar here with the wind detection, because you see that bright white dot that shows up there just south of Burlington. Just trying to check through all the different warnings and everything I've got going on. Approaching Burbank, Worth, Evergreen Park. All you folks need to get yourself into a secure location as soon as possible. More information now coming in from the National Weather Service. This is coming in 11:26. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located over LaGrange, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Now, the original rotation near Downers Grove has weakened slightly as this storm has moved into western Cook County. However, there is some rotation. It's present at the strongest rotation, so we get two different tornado warnings going on, trying to keep them both straight. But the one that you're seeing right there in the middle of your screen, right there, you saw that bright white. Back it up. See right there, middle of your screen, just to the southeast of Woodridge, moving into Burbank. We're talking about a very dangerous situation. We're talking about a confirmed tornado on the ground. Anybody in the path of this storm needs to seek shelter immediately, moving upwards of 45 to 50 miles per hour to the east. So I'm going to zoom out because I have to. That's just the way it is, and maybe it's best if I do it in a little bit different way. I've been using the cone. Let's try and draw, a line out ahead. Some of the areas that may be in the path of this particular storm that's producing a tornado: Oak Lawn, Calumet, Michigan City. And Michigan City, you're talking about the storm that could go across the lake here. Maybe over there at 12:22. So we are watching this very, very closely. Again, let's go to the warning page. So here we are. This is where the particular tornado warning is that we were talking about. Get you some more information for this particular thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. Cook, DuPage, Will counties, places that could be impacted: Orland Park, Tinley Park, all in Worth. I'm trying to pass along this information. But also, while I'm passing on this information, I'm getting it from the great folks in the National Weather Service and the spotters that are out there following this thing. Did have possibly a trained spotter now reporting trees down, structural damage, power out near 75th and Janes, or just south of there. So we're trying to get it all together on where some of this information is coming from. It's coming in fast and furious, but the biggest thing is if you find yourself in this red polygon, that means you are under a tornado warning, and you need to seek shelter immediately because you are under a tornado warning. This is the line of thunderstorms that's moving through. This is the line of thunderstorms moving through that's creating the tornado warning. So as of 5 minutes ago, you still had a tornado warning that would remain in effect until 11:45 for north central Will County, southeastern DuPage County, and south central Cook County. At 11:23, so 7 minutes ago, you had a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado located over Willow Springs, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So obviously, it is east of there. By a long ways, Mobile homes, you need to get out of those. So if we show you where the far edge of that warning is, that's basically right where the where the leading edge of the thunderstorms are. So again, you see where the leading edge of that radar, or where the red polygon is, there's the leading edge of those thunderstorms. And it's moving east, continuing to move east at 45 to 50 miles per hour. Checking to see here. So DuPage County, this was DuPage County, Woodridge. You have significant damage in Woodridge. I'm trying to get the exact location. Trees damage, it looks like, from a tornado. House damage as well in Woodridge and DuPage County. Seeing what else we got going on here. We got another severe thunderstorm warning going on, but really we're concentrating so much on this tornado warning. That's why we broke in anyways, because we had this tornado warning that was ongoing and continues to be ongoing. And that's, you know, that's going to be the case with this. I mean, that's just the way we're dealing with things. Yes, there are some severe thunderstorm warnings out there, and if I'm leaving you out, I apologize. You know, we have these areas that are shaded in orange, and that is severe thunderstorm warnings. But the bulk of our concentration now is on what's going on with the tornado warning, and we're going to try and continue with this. Boy, I tell you what, you see the bright orange right there in the middle of your screen crossing 294. They're east of Worth and approaching Blue Island. That's the area, boy. You really got to be thinking that there's a tornado still on the ground there, and everybody that's in the path of that storm needs to seek shelter. Some of the areas that are in the path at Evergreen Park, Blue Island, thunderstorms on top of you right now. Just trying to get more information here. Yeah, it looks like DuPage County, you're probably out of that tornado risk, but Cook County, that's a completely different story. So I'm going to zoom out again, because we're always trying to let you know who's coming next. You know, who's going to be in the next for this line of thunderstorms. And boy, it is moving so quickly to the east at 45 to 50 miles per hour that places like Thornton, for instance, at 11:38, you may have a tornadic thunderstorm over top of you. Hobart, Indiana at 12:03. Westchester, 12:13. So now you're talking about getting over there in northwest Indiana, but we have so much area that is in that box. I mean, let's zoom in here and think about some of the areas that are in there. So you see north, you see some other spots that are showing up. But if we zoom in a little bit more, you're talking about Thornton, Lansing, Whiting, Calumet. These are all areas that may be impacted by this particular thunderstorm producing a tornado. That is something that's going on. Let's see what's going on here. So we have good news for those of you in DuPage and Will County. That portion of the tornado warning has now been, has been canceled. So that's good. But you still have these two red boxes that you see on your screen there that are still tornado warnings. So we still have two tornado warnings that are ongoing. You see that it covers a good portion of Cook County and just a sliver, it looks like, of eastern. Basically, if you drive out on 290, you are in that tornado warning all the way into DuPage County. So we have, it looks like now we got two different warnings that are going on. Let's go ahead and look at that first polygon. Cook and DuPage, areas like Cicero, Lyons, Oak Park, Proviso, and then the more southern one, Orland Park, Tinley Park, Worth. That goes until 11:45. So we still have another 10 minutes roughly on that particular thunderstorm. The one that is further toward the north, that tornado warning runs until midnight. So the one further north, basically right along the I-290 corridor. We need to be able to pull up that information for you. It's doing the best we can to try and get everything to you, because there's a lot going on here. There's no doubt about that. Let's check out the latest on those particular tornado warnings and try and get you everything you need to know. So we have two areas where you need to find yourself seeking shelter right now. Right in the middle of your screen, we have two separate tornado warnings that are ongoing. So you need to find yourself in that, the one that's in the northern sections. You had at 11:25, there was a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It was located over LaGrange, moving east at 35 miles per hour. You just saw that polygon in the northern sections there, basically along 290 into the south down to around I-55. You saw how the wedge is out of that, right? Well, you had some rotation that was near Downers Grove. It weakened slightly. The storm is moving into western Cook County. It still has some rotation. This is Doppler Radar indicated, possible rotation there. So that's what we're talking about with the northern, your northern polygon. That's where we have to watch out when that particular area. Then you had the further south, the one that covers Worth, for instance. Now, this was a confirmed tornado on the ground. We've had radar that has been able to see debris that's been picked up thousands of feet into the air. We had a report of debris across 355, reports of the tornado actually seen on the ground as it did so. Some of the areas that may be being impacted right now, Evergreen Park, Midlothian, for instance, as we speak. So you need to get yourself into the lowest level of your home. Again, we're talking about Cook County. The central, we'll say from I-55, you see the I-55 icon on your screen over to the 94 icon, right? That particular polygon moving south all the way to about Will County. That's where we had a thunderstorm that moving east at 45 miles per hour. Had a rotation in this storm, had a tornado on the ground, and certainly could have that kind of thing ongoing. So if we look at the radar, there's a thunderstorm, how quickly it's moving. We're talking about getting now to the Bishop Ford, how quickly these thunderstorms are moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. I'm zooming out, not because I don't want to concentrate on I'm going to show you the areas where it is now, but we always want to tell you, if we take that line of thunderstorms and we move it to the east, again, at 50 miles per hour, these are some of the areas that may find themselves in the path of these thunderstorms. So Calumet, 11:55, Hobart, Indiana, 12:02, Michigan City. We're talking all the way to Michigan City at 12:21. So we're continuing the tornado warning for Cook County until midnight. At 11:34, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Burbank, moving east at 45 miles per hour. The rotation of the storm has shown weakening over the last 10 minutes. That is good news. If this trend continues, then any more warnings further to the east will not be needed. And that warning, this has come straight from the National Weather Service. They're the ones that put out the warnings. We just try and pass along that information to you. That tornado warning will be allowed to expire. That would be some great news. But again, it is not, it's still ongoing until midnight. And you see some of the areas that could be in the path of this storm, like Calumet, for instance, 11:55. Thornton, you need to get yourself, you're in one of these areas, you find yourself in that wedge that I've drawn on the screen there, get yourself downstairs, find shelter immediately, get yourself, away from windows, lowest level of your home, and let this blow on through. We could have tree damage, roof damage, damage to vehicles. Again, we had a tornado that was on the ground, and it looks like we probably had significant damage, parts of DuPage, possibly Cook counties, that we're going to have to go back and look at eventually. But right now, we're talking about getting out ahead of this and keeping ourselves safe. Yeah, here's another thing that I want you to keep in mind too. These are producing, these thunderstorms, whether it has a severe thunderstorm that has winds blowing in excess of, say, 60, 70 miles per hour, whether it has a tornado in it or not. We also have reports now of just copious amounts of rainfall that are coming down. These are hefty, hefty rainfall makers. And when they're dumping this much rain, we've got some reports of water standing on some roads out there, like Rogers Park, for instance. Not confirmed yet. You could have some areas that have as much as a few inches of rain on them. So traveling could be a problem. You could have some hydroplaning and water getting to places that people don't want it, also into people's homes. Don't have confirmation of that happening, just saying with these heavy, heavy rain producers, that is something that could be ongoing. So we've been watching for quite some time now these thunderstorms moving through the region. We still have all the orange polygons you see on your screen. Severe thunderstorm warnings, right? Those are where the severe thunderstorm warnings are ongoing. Some of those areas, for instance, severe thunderstorm warning until midnight for Cook County. That includes Chicago, Cicero, Leiden, Proviso. That goes until midnight. You could have 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we're talking about those areas. You could have wind damage. We got more information coming in here. Estimated wind gust downtown Chicago now of 55 miles per hour. We now have a report out of Plainfield of thunderstorm wind damage there. Reports of tree damage northwest of Plainfield. Estimated time that occurred was about 11:05. Also some pea-sized hail that's been reported out there. But again, let's just kind of go through them all for you. Severe thunderstorm warning, east central Cook County until midnight. At 11:30, severe thunderstorm was located over Oak Park, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazard was 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Now we're going to talk about the tornado warning that is still ongoing. It remains in effect until 11:45 for south central Cook County. At 11:32, 9 minutes ago, we had a storm capable of producing a tornado. It was located over Burbank, or near Burbank, moving east at 45 miles per hour. And whenever you hear those out there, I'm sure you can see it on your screen. You probably just heard the beeps that were going on on my microphone as well. We've got a from the National Weather Service. Boy, if this is certainly true. And I'm going to take you to the radar here. This is quite a jagged edge of ugly thunderstorms that are moving through at this point in time. I mean, let's check out all the lightning that's going on out there as well. You can see some of those flashes. But this coming from the folks at the National Weather Service. This is, a long-lived, this is, like a tornado-like, what we've seen across the western suburbs. It now appears to be more of a brief tornado threat. As we continue here over the next hour or so, we could have pockets of wind damage. For those of you that are further east, we may find ourselves with just real quick tornado warning, southeastern Cook County, places over in northwest Indiana. Those are all things we have to watch out for. When the latest severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, that came out for Kankakee, Will, Jasper, Lake, Newton counties, that one is going to be ongoing for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly which one we're talking about here. There you go for Kankakee, Will counties over in northwest Indiana. That particular warning was issued for southern Will, Kankakee counties, northern Newton, Porter, Lake, and northwestern Jasper counties. That runs until 1 o'clock in the morning. About 2 minutes ago, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Whiting to near Elwood, moving east at 35 miles per hour. And these storms do have a history of producing wind damage. Your hazard with these thunderstorms are 70-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Some of the locations included Hammond, Gary, Portage, Maryville, Valparaiso, East Chicago, Sherrville, Hobart, Kankakee, Crown Point, Highland, Munster, Bourbonnais, Bradley, Chesterton, Cedar Lake, Lowell, Manteno, Wilmington, and Peatone. That is the newest severe thunderstorm warning. Let's take you back to the radar to show you the thunderstorms we're talking about. Yeah, they're ongoing. Let's go ahead and let's put them in motion for you. Let's show you what's been going on here. Here they are, marching toward the east at roughly 35 miles per hour. So if they're continuing to march towards the east, you see that line of thunderstorms is out there. Again, it's movement to the east at roughly 35 miles per hour. So if we want to take those areas, like southern Will County, also into Kankakee County, and we're going to take that line of thunderstorms, and if you pull it off towards the east at, let's say, 35 miles per hour, some of the areas that may be impacted, Peatone here in about 5 minutes, Manteno just after midnight. Lowell, you may find yourself with this at 12:33, Bourbonnais, Bradley, Kankakee, all thinking about 12:42, as this line continues to move. And again, this warning goes until 1 o'clock in the morning. Heard another buzz here. Here's some good news, folks. The tornado warning that was in Cook County has been canceled. That is great news. So if we look at our warning page now, all we are seeing, and I say all, is orange, which means severe thunderstorm warnings. And some of these extend all the way out until 1 o'clock in the morning. But the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. It means the folks at the National Weather Service, they're watching all this very, very closely. What we are not finding right now is rotations in these thunderstorms that would prompt the next warning. That doesn't mean there isn't some weak rotation in there, but nothing that gets up to the criteria met to have a tornado warning. But for anybody that's in Chicago, you see this line of thunderstorm that extends here from north of the city, and then you got this line as it curves its way around back here to Ottawa. So basically it's kind of hugging I-80 there for a while. Those thunderstorms continue to move off towards the east, anywhere between 35, 45 miles per hour, still very capable of producing straight line winds in excess of maybe 60 to 70 miles per hour. Maybe some small hail in there. Certainly heavy, heavy rainfall. Also have to watch out for the potential of us seeing maybe another tornadic thunderstorm. We did have a tornado confirmed earlier this evening on the ground, causing damage, debris, signature on radar that showed that debris was being picked up and lofted into the air thousands of feet. That is something that, there's going to be cleanup out there. There was damage that was reported across 355 earlier on. I'm letting radar run here for a second. Let's see if I can find anything else. All right, it sounds like, because I'm going to take just a quick break here because we don't have a tornado warning going on right now. Jackie Bang is with me tonight. She is in the house as well, and being told, Jackie, that maybe you now have video that we can show the folks.
That's right. It was shot earlier because it was far west. Of course, the heavy storms are now east of us, but about a half an hour ago, maybe more than a half an hour ago, when the storms hit pretty hard in Naperville, we do have video of that. And the video should be showing, you can see right there, that is hail. And in the background, if you can hear it, those are tornado warning sirens. So again, this was about 30, 40 minutes ago, and as you mentioned, Mike, this was a fast-moving storm, continues to be a fast-moving storm, 45 miles per hour, I think you said. And so it quickly left that area and continued with this destruction. Mike, I've been looking at some of the social media, learning a little bit more about that tornado that possibly touched down. It apparently, and this again is through social media, this is not confirmed by the Weather Service, so I'm just repeating what some people have possibly seen or reported from other places, that a tornado crossed I-355. This was around 11:15, and it continued, that was around Bolingbrook, around that area, and then it continued, as you have been mentioning, all night, kind of going south and east, and it was a very large and very strong tornado. And you've got to think, my goodness, on a late Father's Day night, in the darkness of night, that we're hearing these tornado sirens. It must be absolutely frightening. I also did look at some of the information on the airports, O'Hare airports. They said there are 27 cancellations. I'm sure there are not a lot of flights that were going in and out late at night on a Sunday night, but they also did put a gate hold there at O'Hare Airport, and the taxiways were delayed. So right now there are delays at O'Hare Airport at least by an hour and a half. Midway didn't get as much information, I've got to think, because that it was hitting that area as well. It said around 31 cancellations. This was updated around 11:45. You mentioned Plainfield, and I can't help but remember I was around when this happened, and all the longtime residents are probably just bracing in Plainfield when that passed. You think of the tornado back in 1990 that was so destructive. It was an EF5 tornado. It killed more than 24 people, caused such terrible damage. So our hearts go out to all the folks that were so frightened probably around that area, who may have remembered that area in Plainfield. Driving, I actually left and then came back, and I can be your witness and tell you that it was blinding rain on the expressways, and the winds were just kicking up in the Chicago area when I got back. So honestly, I don't see any reason for anybody to be out on the roads right now. If you know of anybody out on the roads, tell them to drive very slowly. Mike, you got any more updates?
Yeah, we're still getting some information information that's coming into the office, and boy, this went from a couple of warnings when we were on the news at 10 o'clock to blowing up. Chief Meteorologist Tom Skilling is joining me on the phone this evening. You know, Tom and I had talked earlier this afternoon, and boy, when we thought we were going to have storms in the middle of the day, when the heating was suppressed because of the cloud cover, and things didn't get going. And then this evening, Tom, things just blew up. And now we're talking about something we don't see too often here, of a tornado that was confirmed on the ground. And the radar not only picked up the tornado, but debris being lofted thousands of feet into the air. This is not something that I can remember happening in this part of the, in the metro, Tom. What can you add to that?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I think the most concerning report that we're seeing right now, Mike, is that there are now reports of 3 injuries and gas leaks out in the Naperville area in DuPage County. And that's interesting. You've been reporting about multiple spotter reports of damage to trees, structures, and power lines near 75th and James in Woodridge. Debris has been scattered across I-355, and reports from that area indicate that's a probable tornado. So these storms continue to roar through the area. You know, the expectation, I've been watching this line as it's made its way out of Iowa, Mike, and I know you have too. This thing raced across the state. By the way, I'm looking at a Doppler rainfall estimate, and there's some local indications that as much as 3 inches of rain may have come down from these storms out in the DeKalb area over toward Paw Paw and back into parts of Lee County south of Dixon. In our area, there's been very heavy rain. We're getting indications there may have been local 1.5, 2-inch rain totals too. Obviously, we're in drought, so that's good news, but you like to get it without all the severe weather that's been accompanying this. The line was expected to race across the area between 10 and 2 a.m. It has done that. But, Mike, as you say, it exploded into to severe proportions with sudden speed. And it's interesting, it's done this very quickly, nocturnally. In other words, after daytime heating. We didn't even have a lot of heat today. We had low 80-degree temperatures, 70-degree dew points. It was an atmosphere that was buoyant. We have a jet stream racing overhead. These thunderstorms bubble up into it. They begin rotating. And you get a perfect setup for supercellular thunderstorms that can produce tornadoes. But
I tell you, Tom, I don't want to interrupt you. We were talking about the rain, and I actually have up right now.
I see that.
The 4 highest totals we've had from our WeatherBug network, and you had mentioned this. I mean, Wilmette, almost 2.5 inches of rainfall.
Yeah.
It's happened really in just the last, say, hour to an hour and a half. Schaumburg at almost 2 inches, Bloomingdale just under 2 inches, St. Charles at 1.75 inches. We had so much moisture here. You stepped outside, you felt it. It really was, and you can harken back to the areas like being in Plainfield. How much different that area is now in terms of population, everything built up, compared to what it was we had the Plainfield tornado back in the 90s. How big of a difference are we talking about, Tom?
Oh, it's huge. We've been out there for these annual remembrances of that horrible day in August of 1990. I remember just 5-10 years ago, it was noted that the population there, and that's so true of so many areas. I mean, look at the area out by Aurora and up and down the Fox Valley. It used to be the population went out to Randall Road. Now you're out to I-40, Route 47 out there. So there's been incredible growth, and these storms, therefore, have more of an impact on a greater number of people. Boy, that's a telling radar image right there. And look at the lightning. There's no question when you get these storms that blow up on the nose of incredible heat, like we've been seeing for days out to the west and south of us, up to 100 degrees in the St. Louis area in just the last couple of days, the lightning producing capability of these storms becomes just amazing. It's prodigious. And you can see the lightning returns what'll happen, the light of day, when we get to tomorrow morning, will begin illuminating the full extent of the damage that's gone on. But to say that we're getting spotter reports at this hour of the night, in the darkness of the night, and I'm talking to you here from the home weather office. I'm up in the Edgewater neighborhood on the north side of the city. Boy, we had lightning flashing out here tremendously. And it's calmed down a little bit from that standpoint, but I can see the windows covered with water here, and some of those rainfall reports that you cited, Mike, certainly dovetail with what our what our radar reports have indicated. It looks like the quarter of heaviest rain reaches all the way from just north of Peoria right up into sections of the Chicago area. And those, witness those reports we're getting off our WeatherBug network. Right now, the heaviest parts of these storms are going down through Grundy County into Will County. You folks in northwest Indiana, hang on, because it's moving in as we speak, already well into Lake County and northwest Indiana. And we've got other storms that are crossing the lake, but others have gone through southwest lower Michigan. So this is a pretty expansive severe weather outbreak that we've got going across the area.
Yeah, I tell you, Tom, I had so many people that were on social media and other means that were contacting me saying, what happened to the thunderstorms today? And trying to explain to them, hey, we have to have the trigger. We have to have something to get them going. And we were capped for so much of the day. But then with this cold front arriving, here we are in just the worst time of day to happen. And one woman, when I posted that we had the severe thunderstorm watch that had been posted until 2 o'clock in the morning, and said, be prepared. And the response was, be prepared. Everyone is home and in bed. That I think is probably the most concerned, is we possibly had a large tornado on the ground when a lot of people were in bed. And you said we've got 3 injuries. Hopefully there aren't more, but I'm certainly not going to be surprised at this time of day to have something like this going on. Is just about as bad as you could possibly be, other than maybe people being out there for the drive times, say on 355. If you were at, say, at 5 o'clock in the evening, it'd be hard pressed to find a worse time than, say, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, isn't it the truth? And Jackie was making this point earlier, saying, she'd started home and came back through all this. There's something terribly frightening about this happening at night. You see the lightning flashing, you hear the winds roaring, the rain is coming down, the warnings are flying, sirens are going off. We've had reports across the area, siren systems being activated in response to these storms. It's a frightening situation. There are no two ways about it. These nighttime storms are terrible. And it is interesting, isn't it, Mike, that, normally our peak hours for severe weather eruption are in the late afternoon, the early evening hours. But to have this really explode after dark in the darkness of night is particularly frightening. No question about it. Interesting shot there, Mike, on our radar. Folks are following it. Goes all the way from Elwood up to Monee, Thornton, St. John, Indiana, Calumet, Indiana. It's just it's quite a mass of thunderstorms we've got racing. And it's interesting, Mike, these are paralleling west to east jet stream, which means the heavy rains kind of train over an area for a given period of time. So not only do you have the severe attributes of these storms, but the rain comes down in buckets. And you made the point so validly a couple of nights ago that, these thunderstorms disgorge their rain very, very quickly. There's not time for this to percolate into the soil. So a lot of this runs off. But, when it falls this fast, you can get some areas of flooding, despite the fact that we're in a drought area in many parts of the region.
Well, and I brought up the zoomed-in shot of the radar I currently have up right now for a reason. Tom, I just want to jump in here real quick. You're not going to be able to pick it up real well on this particular radar, but just wanted to show where some of the thunderstorms are, especially east of I-57. Now, from the National Weather Service, they said there's 2 areas of concern that they're watching right now for some rotation over eastern Will County, and that may necessitate another tornado warning here shortly. So that's why I've zoomed into this area right here. So for those of you, this is more of a rural area once you get here into Will County. But again, as you can tell, St. John is over here and some other areas inside Lake County, Indiana. So this is one area, it may be soon, where we find ourselves with a new tornado warning. And this was the case when we had first the long tornado warnings that lasted, a half hour, 45 minutes, that we're getting now more with this linear, with this line of thunderstorms, and it could be those quick spin-ups. That, the warning doesn't last very long, but you see that quick rotation and you try and get that warning out there as fast as you possibly can. And, Tom, this is so difficult without the spotters, at night. You're having to go by all radar and not having the spotters out there, and it just makes the job more difficult. It
does. And, we so depend on ground truth. It's one thing to see the circulation on radar. But, our Earth curves under these radar beams, and so as you get farther and farther away from the radar, you're scanning higher into the clouds and missing that low-level circulation. That's why it's indispensable to have folks on the ground telling us, hey, there's debris going up, we've got damage, trees are down, power lines are down. You get that ground truth that is absolutely invaluable, and it's harder even for our spotters to see this at night. Often what happens is the lightning illuminates or backlights these tornadoes, and that's how you see them. Flashes of lightning, and there's a funnel, and a tornado actively on the ground. So, yeah, it's a special challenge, these nighttime thunderstorm situations.
And to try and give everybody kind of an indication of what they're looking at, I changed the radar over now, and we're using, the wind detection, and just want to people to notice that bright, the bright red and pink that comes in. That's strong winds come from those thunderstorms. And then you notice they're just to the west of Beecher. I'm sure you see it as well, Tom. You've got that bright area right over Beecher now, and those are little things that the folks in National Weather Service start honing in on. So again, I said it's more of a rural area, but folks, if you're in Beecher right now, even if you don't have a tornado warning, you need to find yourself a place downstairs, and I think that's where we are right now. This isn't about waiting for it to be a tornado warning.
By the way, Mike, this just in, a tornado warning has now been issued for east central Will County.
There it is.
Also northeastern Newton County in Indiana, southwestern Porter County in northwest Indiana, Lake County in northwest Indiana, and northwestern Jasper County.
Yep.
That's essentially the whole chunk of northwest Indiana right there.
Yep. There was. I think while I was talking to you, I didn't hear it. Yeah. And I can go through it for everybody. We had a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing brief tornadoes, located near St. John at 12 o'clock, or near Cedar Lake to Beecher, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So this is. Doppler radar indicated some rotation in there. And if you are in the line of these thunderstorms, you find yourself in this red polygon that's right here in the middle of your screen. You need to find yourself into the lowest level of where you are, a sturdy building. If it's your home, get downstairs, away from the windows. Find yourself a sturdy shelter. Some of the areas that may be included in the path of these storms, places like Crown Point, Lowell, also Winfield, Lake of the Four Seasons. Also
Cedar
Hebron,
Lake,
Indiana University Northwest, also the Speedway over there.
Hebron, Indiana.
Yeah, Hebron, Indiana is also in there. So anybody that's in the path of these thunderstorms needs to seek shelter. So if we turn on the radar and we start thinking, okay, there's the thunderstorms, and we know that they could spin up something at any time. And they're moving to the east at 45 miles per hour. So let's let the radar, let's let the machine do its job here, and let's take the leading edge of that thunderstorm, and let's pull it to the east at 45 miles per hour. And you see some of the areas, like if you're in Valparaiso right now, you need to start thinking that in the next 15 minutes, you may have a thunderstorm on your doorstep that's capable of producing a tornado. Cedar Creek at 12:09. If you're in New Durham, 12:29. Kingsford Heights, 12:45. It says Kankakee on there. Now, there is a Kankakee Township in LaPorte County. That's what it's showing as Kankakee Township in LaPorte County, Indiana, not Kankakee, Illinois. That's not what the tornado warning is for. But as Tom and I were talking about, where that warning is, it's that red polygon. It's just that little sliver of Will County. and then over into Lake County, Indiana, a good portion of Porter County, Indiana, and then you get just a little bit of the northwestern sections of Jasper, and then the northeastern sliver of Newton County there. So again,
Hey,
that
Mike,
particular warning goes until 12:45.
Some other indicators, just to give people their bearings on this. Indiana University Northwest, Ileana Motor Speedway and the Lake County Fairgrounds. They say I-80 between mile markers 8 and 14, I-90 between mile markers 23-30. You folks who travel in that area will recognize these locations. I-65 between mile markers 227 and 260, all included in there. Yeah, and they've just issued severe thunderstorm warnings for LaPorte County over into Berrien County in Michigan, down south of us. Kankakee and Peatone are under a severe thunderstorm warning that runs till 2 a.m. in the morning. And a little farther north, there's a severe thunderstorm warning that runs till 1:15 in the morning. It includes Harvey, an area just south of Joliet, all the way up into southern Cook County. So this gives you an idea of the axis at risk, the area at risk.
Yeah, and Tom, you may know this area because of where it is. We did have a report now just coming in the last couple of minutes out of Aurora that we have a tree across the roadway at 2300 Sands Sushi Drive. That's in Aurora.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another area where if you got a tree down, I know it's not a huge thing like a building being knocked over, but again, that is another report now. Coming this time out of the Aurora area. But if you are just now joining us, we're on the air. I'm meteorologist Mike Jansen here in the WGN Weather Center, being joined by Chief Meteorologist Tom Skilling. We currently have a tornado warning ongoing for parts of Porter County, Indiana, Lake County, Indiana, a very small sliver of Will County, Illinois, and just a little bit of northern sections of Jasper and Newton counties in Indiana as well. We have a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing brief tornadoes. Last check at about 8 minutes ago was located near St. John or near Cedar Lake over into Beecher, and it was moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is a dangerous situation. You could have flying debris. You could have damage to roofs, to windows, to vehicles. Tree damage is likely. Outside of where we have the potential of seeing those tornadoes, you notice so much of, Tom had mentioned, the severe thunderstorm warnings of straight line 70-mile-per-hour winds. Those too can cause a great deal of damage. So we want everybody that finds themselves in the path of these thunderstorms to seek shelter immediately. So we're talking about, there it is again, we'll put that up for you till 12:45. Those are some of the areas that may be impacted. Hobart, Maryville, Ross, St. John, I-80 between mile markers 8 and 14, I-90 between mile markers 23 and 30, I-65 between mile markers 227 and 260. We know how busy those roads are even at this time of night. A lot of truck traffic over there, high-profile vehicles that do not do well in winds. So there's the thunderstorms themselves. We can see those on radar now. They are moving toward the east at 45 miles per hour. Let's just draw that line of where the thunderstorms are. It probably could take it even further than that, but if they're moving toward the east at 45 miles per hour, we had mentioned some of the areas that could be impacted, but kind of give you an idea of the timing. In about 10 minutes, that line of thunderstorms, probably less than that, going to be in Valparaiso. Keener at 12:29, LaPorte 12:41, Willis 12:51, and again, it does say Kankakee on there. That is not Kankakee, Illinois. Just look at where that red box is that I've drawn. That is for Kankakee Township in LaPorte County, Indiana. So,
by the way, Mike,
some of the locations.
We also out is a flood advisory that's been issued because of the downpours. That covers Cook County, DuPage County. Some areas, the heavy rain is past, but that rain has got to run off. So you've got Cook County, DuPage County, eastern King County, northeastern Kendall County, southern Lake County, Illinois, and then southeastern McHenry County, northern Will County, northwestern Lake County, Indiana, all under now a flood advisory that runs till 3 in the morning. And some of the communities involved in that are Aurora, Joliet, Naperville, Elgin, Waukegan, Cicero, and it goes on and on. So you were pointing out some of the weather bug rain reports. Boy, you've got to love that weather bug network to have these rain gauges situated across the area so we can actually, again, get that critical ground truth. How much rain has come down is amazing. But they are pointing out the radar has detected 1 to 2 inch rains. And this has fallen in a very short period of time. So, it's incredible. We've been talking about rain shortage, and when the heavens finally open up, boy, do they unload, and fast. And, I was interested, too, Mike, in your comment. These things are flying along these cells at 45 miles an hour. We're right under a jet stream. So these thunderstorms move quickly, and rule of thumb, you got fast-moving thunderstorms like these tonight, then the winds that gush out of them can be that much stronger. And that's how we're getting these 60-plus mile-per-hour gusts at some locations. And it's going to be interesting as, the light of day commences around here to see the extent of the damage that's been done. I'll tell you one thing, our morning news folks will be busy keeping tabs on what has happened in the darkness of the night, because we know there's been damage. And again, there are reported injuries out in the Naperville area, 3 injured, according to a report out of the National Weather Service there. You were mentioning Sans Souci and Aurora. That's a beautiful subdivision on the west side of Aurora, out in the Fox Valley. And that area was hard hit. And we do know, and you've mentioned it, Mike, that there were 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts out at the Sugar Grove Airport, the Aurora Municipal Airport in Sugar Grove. So it's just gives you an idea of the history of these storms in producing the strong winds. By the way, interesting, too, a report of a tree fire near Lake Holiday, the Lake Holiday area down in LaSalle County. That's another thing. With all this lightning, there have been some fires set and damage to trees, structures, power lines reported in many of the areas impacted by these storms. So this has been an eventful night.
And for those of you that are maybe tuning in from Northwest Indiana, I always am so grateful for the information that is passed along by the National Weather Service. Again, we are the messengers. These warnings come directly from the National Weather Service, and yes, we can look at some of the tools that we have at our disposal to look at certain things and pick out indications on radar, but to let you know exactly what the National Weather Service is looking at, there are 2 areas that they are really watching closely in Northwest Indiana, where they're having, maybe some, producing the potential there of seeing tornadoes that they're spinning up in terms of the rotation. So one of those areas is near Portage and near Lowell. So for those of you that live over there, that live in Northwest Indiana, you know where those areas are. So those are 2 of the areas that they're watching, very closely. But you can tell, watch the thunderstorms going from Will County and just quickly slamming their way to around Cedar Creek there in Lake County, Indiana. These thunderstorms are hustling. If there were to be a tornado on the ground, you are not going to have very long to take cover.
React.
In fact, we have increasing rotation now over South Haven, Indiana, which is within the tornado warning that was just updated. It mentioned that there was some strengthening near Portage. So it looks like they're drawing up a new tornado warning for downstream locations now. So it could be.
By the way, Mike, there is a new severe thunderstorm watch that's out of the Storm Prediction Center, issued for most of northern Indiana now, and that includes southern lower Michigan as well. So that thunderstorm warning, just out in the last few minutes, runs until 4 o'clock in the morning. And actually, it's 6 a.m. Eastern time, be 5 o'clock Central time. You get into the Eastern time zone out there and part of that watch area. So, this line is proceeding eastward, and the watches have been issued in advance of its arrival. And it's now entering the west end of that watch area, as you say. And there are the warnings on the screen.
Yeah, and for a lot of those areas, Tom, this would be the second time. And if you guys are just now watching on your screen, You'll notice the red polygon just got a little bit bigger in the upper right-hand corner. So that includes Valparaiso. Remember, we were talking about more rotation that was being picked up over there. So that's the latest tornado warning that is now ongoing, including Valparaiso. That's where we have a tornado warning that's now ongoing to give you some more information on that, some of the locations that are impacted. Tornado warning runs until 12:45, so we got a half hour on this. It includes the cities of Chesterton and Liberty. Now, this is in Porter County. At 12:14, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Chesterton. Now, this one's really picking up steam, Tom. You probably know this, moving east at 60 miles per hour. So this is going to move very quickly. We have a Doppler radar indication of rotation in that thunderstorm over Chesterton that's moving to the east at 60 miles per hour. Some of the areas that could be impacted, mile markers 27 and 37. Mile markers 26 and 30, and near mile marker 32. Anybody in this area needs to seek shelter now. You got no time. You got a thunderstorm that's moving at 60 miles per hour. You need to get downstairs, get in your, get as low as you can, get away from windows immediately.
And, Mike, they say history is prologue. So coming into us, even as we speak, are reports of the damage that this line has already done. Just in now from just 1 mile east-southeast of Addison, thunderstorm wind damage. They say tree damage near Lake Street and Villa Avenue at Addison. A possible tornado caused that. We also have reports out to northwest of Montgomery in the Fox Valley of storms near Canterbury Road and Galena Boulevard. That from the Aurora Police Department. And that occurred earlier this evening. So you get an idea of the history of these storms and why it's very wise to take them seriously, because they have quite a checkered history in producing damage out to the west of us, the full extent of which is becoming clearer and clearer as time goes on here. And with these, we've got more reports.
Yeah, and the storms have a history. And for that latest storm that just produced the tornado warning, again in Porter County, this particular thunderstorm moving to the east at 60 miles per hour. So it is going to be in a hurry. And it's going to be, basically it's on Valparaiso now. But LaPorte by 12:34, Kankakee, which is Kankakee Township at 12:45, all the way over to South Bend, Indiana. We're talking about at 12:58. It's going to hustle on over there quite quickly, or 1:58, and then 2:14. Yeah. But I'm guessing what you're getting there is that switch of the time zones. Well, actually, I guess it could be an hour to get over that way. But I did see here you had a roof collapse, Eagle Road in South Haven. You also had full-size trees down. We're getting more and more reports now, but we don't want to lose track of where we currently have the warnings going on, because we don't want to, yes, maybe we do have some damage in some locations, but we also have thunderstorms that are still packing quite a punch. And again, we've got these warnings, 2 tornado warnings right now that are ongoing in northwest Indiana. While I show these polygons, Tom, I don't know exactly the dates, but I have a feeling, the last time we even had a severe thunderstorm watch around here was back in, like September or August. Yeah. It was so long ago. We haven't done this in so long that it's almost like people forgot, oh yeah, we can have thunderstorms around here. It's been so dry this summer and spring.
Well, we've been marveling at how the paucity in severe weather around this area. I mean, it's just stunning. And in fact, across a good part of the country, hand in hand with drought goes, a lack of severe weather activity. And while we have had some noticeable rains, particularly south of the I-88 in recent weeks, these have not come in with a normal array of severe weather. So you're right. I mean, this is a rare night for 2021 to have this kind of stuff cooking, as vigorously as it has. By the way, Mike, all you have to tell anybody when that the storm is moving at 60 miles an hour, and that's trouble. Any storm that is flying along at highway speed like that, just think of that. You drive down a highway at 60 miles an hour. Of course, people like Bill Snyder go a lot faster than that, but that's an incredibly fast-moving storm.
Yeah, even straight line winds out of those storms are going to be quite impressive.
Really is.
And certainly, we have the 2 tornado warnings that are ongoing for another 25 minutes. Again, this line of thunderstorms moving through northwest Indiana. Yeah, we're going to continue that tornado warning for Jasper, Lake, Newton, Porter counties until 12:45. As of right now, according to the National Weather Service, the severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes were located along a line extending from near Chesterton to near Shelby, moving east at 45 miles per hour. The strongest areas of rotation were now east of Portage and west of Hebron. So you folks that live there, that know that area, if you travel over there, if you spend time over there, you know what we're talking about. And there's the thunderstorms. But with those, lots of lightning. Also, heavy rainfall. I'm sure, without a doubt, that the traffic has slowed down on the Borman, on the tollway over there on 65. I mean, it's tough traveling over there. Strong thunderstorms. If you're on the path of these storms, find yourself some shelter, immediately. Maybe you're up right now. You want to go outside, take a look at it, because some people want to do that. Get yourself inside. Again, now the last report was the storm was moving east at 45 miles per hour. A little bit ago, we were talking about thunderstorm moving east at 60 miles per hour. You don't have much time to get yourself indoors, and there are some that want to go out there and take a look at things. So this is just another update that beeped there. Yeah, nothing actually that came in with that particular warning. So,
Mike, it's interesting. There's been great concern on the part of the meteorological community that folks don't take these warnings as seriously sometimes as they should. And there's been work done between meteorologists at the Weather Service and sociologists. And what they're doing more in these warnings is trying to relate the kind of damage that these storms will do. And here's the note they make with that tornado warning. In effect, there in northwest Indiana, they say the impacts will include flying debris, which would be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes can be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Something, we've seen all those facets so far in the storms as they've gone through the rest of the area. But it certainly drives home the kind of risk that a storm like this represents in the affected areas. And at all costs, you want to be on the lower level of the home. If you have any sense that you're at the risk of a tornado, get away from windows at all costs. Shards of glass can be deadly if one of these storms, God forbid, hits a structure and destroys it. And, anything picked up by these storms and blown through the air, these projectiles are one of the damaging aspects of these storms. But you don't want to be near windows. You want to be in the lower level of the home. If you got a basement, that's a great place to go. It's better not to be in the corner of basements because that's where debris collects because of the rotary circulation in these tornadoes. These things are flying along at 60 miles an hour, so they're going to be more than happy to produce straight line damage, even without a tornadic circulation. And it becomes almost an academic point. What causes the damage that occurs with these storms, whether it's produced by a rotary wind, a tornado, or straight line winds? We're in the range of wind gusts now and velocities that you can get some serious damage out of these storms.
And we can see now, Tom, as well, that that quick-moving thunderstorm that we just highlighted there, that had prompted the tornado warning in Porter County. Now, getting out ahead of it, the baton has been handed to the folks from the National Weather Service here in Romeoville to the ones over in northern Indiana, and they have now issued a tornado warning for LaPorte County. That runs until 12:45. So places like Cool Spring, LaPorte, New Durham, those are all areas that are in the path of this storm. That again, that was the one that was moving at 60 miles per hour. So they're trying to get out there ahead of this as fast as they possibly can. Easier said than done sometimes. They're so fast moving, and it's just now moving into LaPorte County. And if you continue, even at say 50 miles per hour, those are some of the locations. You know, you're talking about being over by South Bend, Indiana, about an hour and a half from now. I mean, moving that quickly. So just, you guys probably heard the siren going off there. All it was just saying that they're going to continue the tornado warning. Because Doppler Radar indicates that the thunderstorm capable of producing tornado was located 5 miles northwest of Westville, moving east at 55 miles per hour. So again, this is in Porter County, Indiana. We're talking about thunderstorm moving at 55 miles per hour. So whether there's a tornado in there or not, it is going to be hustling, and yes, it could cause some straight line wind damage. So anybody that's in these areas, I apologize for that showing up there. Anybody that finds themselves basically right in the middle of the screen here, I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Porter County over into LaPorte County. It's time for you to find some shelter, let these thunderstorms blow through, and guess what? They're going to blow through rather quickly. I know there are some folks that may not be too excited about maybe getting their kids out of bed, but you don't. You want to get them away from windows and all that kind of stuff and get them to the lowest level of the home. Let it go through. You don't want to take a chance with something like this. As we're starting to get more information in, Tom, you're finding out, maybe there was a house here or there, and maybe we're not hearing about some of the other things because electricity's out in some spots. So we may, like you said earlier, we may not know how bad it is until the sun comes out. And that's basically what it's going to be.
True. By the way, Mike, new warnings out here, new tornado warning. This one is in effect now till 12:45 a.m. Central Time for northeast Newton, southwestern Porter, southeastern Lake, and northwestern Jasper counties. That's part of that area you've been talking about. So a tornado warning for those counties, northeastern Newton, southwestern Porter, southeastern Lake, and northwestern Jasper counties. The line's swinging through there at 45 miles an hour now. And you want to stay away from windows in that area.
So basically, I've got the polygons up on the screen right now, and we can actually show people, where the polygons are. The red polygons are where the tornado warnings are. And so if we just turn on then the radar, and it basically just lines up. I mean, where the thunderstorms are, you see the shape that the thunderstorms are in. They're covering those same locations as where those tornado warnings are. So we can tell everybody in those spots that they need to find themselves some shelter and let this go through. But you do notice as well, though, there's nothing back to the west. So even though we've still got some thunderstorms and looks like some pretty hefty rainfall there in parts of Grundy County, Will County, Kankakee County, this is more what I think we were hoping for, was just a beneficial rain, not the severe thunderstorms that we got and still have ongoing. But if we can just get some rain in there. But Tom had mentioned it. I've mentioned it a couple of times. If you find yourself over in northwest Indiana in any of these red polygons, these are the warning boxes. The red ones, those are tornado warnings. So basically right through we'll say the northern half of LaPorte County, through Valparaiso and Porter County, and then extending down toward the southwest all the way into the far northeastern corner of Newton County. Those are all for tornado warning there. So all you folks need to get yourself...
I've been sent on social media. Ryan Wojo has sent me a picture of a home that's the second floor is gone. This is in Naperville, just south of 75th Street. Major damage in this home. The second floor is gone and exposed. The roof has gone off it. Again, this is Naperville, just south of 75th Street. This is the kind of post-storm report we're going to be hearing more about as we assimilate all these reports and figure out exactly the extent of the damage. That is a seriously damaged home. I wish I could show this to you right now.
You may be able to. I think Jackie is still on with us. Maybe if you were to email it to her or one of the producers, they may be able to get it up. And I too was on social media and reports out of South Haven, Indiana. That you've got reports already of some substantial damage over in South Haven. So quickly happening with some of this. So yeah, we're going to continue to get more and more reports coming in. You know, the biggest thing is, you know, everybody just needs to let this show up, let it go through, find themselves a safe spot in their home. And, you know, as the information comes in, we're obviously, it's a news thing, but we want everybody that finds themselves.
Oh, wow. Mike, here's a video that has just come in. And this shows, this is Lamont Road, just north of 83rd Street. What you're seeing there are fires burning in this video. So this is the kind of information that's starting to emerge now, and the kind of video. This is from Brian Adam, who says, that was close. He said, I pray everyone's okay. I'm pretty sure I just drove through a tornado. And what we see here are vigorously burning fires. I would suspect they've been set by power lines having gone down. And I can see phone poles at an angle. They've been knocked down pretty much. So this is an indication of what's gone on in parts of our area now. We're starting to get pictures. You know, that's much can be said about social media, but I'll tell you one thing. When these storm situations break, it's incredible the kind of visuals that are relayed to us to give us an idea of the extent of the damage that has occurred with these storms. This is pretty dramatic stuff. I don't think I've seen anything like this for a while. Here's another video. Wow. This was Woodridge, Illinois tornado damage. Clearly trees are down, and there's been some heavy-duty damage in this neighborhood. Branches are down in that area. Now, these are areas struck earlier by this line that is prompting all the tornado warnings out to the east of us right now. Believe me, our news people will be assembling this and getting this on the air. In fact, you know, Mike, I'm going to see if I can send this to our news folks. And we can get this in a format we can get up on the air. And
we'd like to be able to share that with people. And right now, I've actually gone ahead and put the radar in motion. Now, this is just the last hour of radar. We've got the lightning in there, but I'm going to turn the lightning off. But I just want to show you how we've got this, you know, almost like a Boeing segment now of this line of thunderstorms that goes through Michigan City and down to about Wheatfield. And you see how quickly in the last hour this has progressed to the east. Now, at times, some of the storms that have prompted like the tornado warnings have been moving to the east as fast as 45 to even up to 60 miles per hour. So these are very fast moving thunderstorms that still, none of those have been canceled yet. When I say none of those, I mean the tornado warnings, and actually it looks like there's another one over there in LaPorte County now that includes Kingsford Heights. That's one location. Let's say if we can find some more information on that particular thunderstorm for those of you in LaPorte County, that a tornado warning was issued for central LaPorte County until 1 o'clock, so we got another 30 minutes on this. So just 2 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Westville, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Now, this is Doppler Radar indicated a rotation in this thunderstorm. Now, this dangerous storm will be near Kingsford Heights by about 12:45 Central Time, Hamlet around 12:50 Central Time. This is a time where anybody that's over there needs to find shelter immediately. Take cover in a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. You want to avoid windows. If you're in a mobile home or a vehicle or outdoors, you want to move yourself to a substantial shelter now. You want to protect yourself from flying debris. Again, these thunderstorms, if they've gone through Illinois and now trekking across northwest Indiana very quickly, they have a history of producing not only straight line winds and damage, but also tornadoes and damage. We may have had earlier this evening a significant tornado on the ground. We have some good news here. That the tornado warning that was in effect for Jasper, Lake, Newton, and Porter County, Indiana, has been canceled. That is some great news. So you have a very small wedge now, the red polygons on your screen, a very small wedge in the eastern section, the northeastern sections of Porter County that is still under a tornado warning, and then you have 2 other tornado warnings in LaPorte County, Indiana. And you notice that 2 of those go over, like, say, I-80, the one in Porter County and also in LaPorte County. So these are heavily traveled areas that find themselves under tornado warnings here tonight and continue anywhere from the next 10 minutes to the next 45 minutes or a half hour, I do believe it is. I go back trying to catch through all my notes here. So we've got a ways to go to give you an idea of, okay, what's the radar looking like. There's the thunderstorms. They've been moving rather quickly. Some of these to the east are roughly 45 miles per hour, but if we just take the edge of those thunderstorms and you move them out at 45 miles per hour, it gives you an idea of just how quickly they're going to be continuing to move. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of locations that are impacted by this. LaPorte, thunderstorm is basically right on top of you. Penn at 1:13, you see some of those numbers coming in after 2 o'clock. That's Eastern time because you're getting over the Eastern time zone. But did get a report now of Cherville that under one of the bridges at 625 West and US 30, you got about a foot of water in both the eastbound lanes. So traffic is still passable there, but that's just one location where you're getting a report from. There's going to be a whole lot of other ones out there where we're not getting a report. So if some of you maybe are getting up right now and you have to go do one of those late shifts or a very early morning shift, or like you know, our own Morgan Kolkmeyer, who I know is up right now, going through all this information, is going to be on the air with us at 4 o'clock in the morning for the WGN Morning News. If you have to travel somewhere, you have to be really careful if you're going to do that, because of the water and standing water in some locations, and of course you might find power lines down or tree limbs down in other spots as well. So it's all locations that you have to be very careful with. I'm going to go ahead and put the radar in motion for you and show you how quickly this line of thunderstorms is moving. You know, you're talking about the whole line of storms moving to the east at 45 to maybe as fast as 60 miles per hour. So these thunderstorms are moving very fast, even if it doesn't have a tornado in there. Straight line winds could certainly be an issue. You could be looking at straight line winds of up to 70 miles per hour. Hail, you know, you may have some small hail in there, but this is a wind and a rainmaker now for the duration. And you know, for the most part, we're starting to, we're almost to the end of it, but we're not there yet. You know, we still have to get these storms out of Porter County, out of LaPorte County. For those of you, you know, tuning in now saying, well, what about, you know, Will County? What about Kankakee? It looks like it's really coming down there. Those are run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. Those are not being warned for anything at this point in time. There's no indications that they are going to be, there's going to be something that is warned tornadic-wise. Now, you may have severe thunderstorm warnings. You see that very eastern section of Kankakee County, and then that's the orange there, and then the other orange. Those 2 are severe thunderstorm warnings. But the tornado warning is now just being relegated to LaPorte County, 2 different ones there. But again, now we're to that mode of you are getting up and getting going. You've got you know, some things to contend with. I know our colleague here in the weather office, Bill Snyder, had posted a picture of a very large tree that had been uprooted. So if you are, especially in those rural areas, if you're driving somewhere and it's dark, just keep in mind that it's dark because power lines got, you know, they fell over, they got knocked down. Was it maybe a large tree or something that could be in your path if you're going to be out there traveling this evening? Jackie, are you still with us?
Still with you, still with you.
I'm so glad you stuck around. Have you had any more information coming in on the news side? Any more pictures, any more videos? You know, Tom and I have been talking so much about the radar, and now we're just, the 2 warnings that are ongoing, the tornado warnings in LaPorte County. But we're seeing more things. I'm wondering what you're seeing.
Well, I have a lot of information, but Taman is joining us as well. Taman Bradley, he's got video.
Yeah, I made it back. So we do have some video of a suspected tornado in Lisle, the village of Lisle in DuPage County. Take a look. Population 23,000 people. This is the first time you and I are seeing this, Jackie, but this is video out of Lisle, tornado spotted there. We don't have an exact time on when this video was taken, but yes, we are getting reports, trying to check it out. There are storm chasers who are tweeting, talking about the major damage in Woodridge, where the tornado touched down, according to the National Weather Service. And so we are checking all that out, trying to get the pictures to you, get them processed, and of course we'll have updates throughout the morning.
We also had earlier video in Naperville of the hail and when it all started in the storm damage. But Taman, you were talking about the timeline, and just looking again on social media, it's interesting and frightening timeline. 11:09 confirmed tornadoes. 11:15 tornado sighting in Darien and Woodridge. 11:23 it is an extremely large tornado, and that was near Willow Springs and Justice. Just as you were saying earlier, how it was a fast-moving storm. You can see the timeline from 11:09 to 11:30. We kept getting reports of this tornado touching down as it was moving from west to east, heading a little south. Again, social media, Naperville, many large trees down, damaged. Also Woodridge. 75th and Woodwards appears to be where a great deal of damage is. We've been looking at video. We cannot get it technically yet to you, but trees down in parking areas, major damage, gas leaks. That's another report.
Gas leaks in Naperville.
Yeah, that people are smelling gas leaks. And this is an important point. This is something that somebody had said, again, on social media. It's too dark to go outside. I'm not going outside. Very, very important warning. Don't go outside. There are power lines down. It's too dark to see any of that. Don't make the mistake of being too curious and going outside to see the damage. You never know where these power lines are going to be.
Yeah, that could be a very dangerous situation. And of course, there's potentially flooding. We don't know exactly where yet, but that's something to be mindful of. You mentioned the drive returning to North Center where our headquarters are. Very difficult conditions on the roads when the storm got heavy. It was very difficult to see in front of you, behind you. It's a situation where if you don't have to be out, don't be out right now. But fortunately, at this hour, the active weather is moving east, moving out of our viewing area. So that is good news, and we'll continue to update you as those alerts come in. Tom?
Yeah, guys, I don't know whether you're able to get on my Facebook page. It's the most stunning piece of video that has emerged yet. This shows the fires that are burning, and I'm also going to post a picture of a home that is roofless. This apparently is in the Naperville area. These have just come into me.
Tom, did you post that on your, because we can bring that up if it's a...
Go to my Facebook page, Taman. It's right up there in front. It's on there now.
Yep.
And show this on the air. I mean, this is stunning stuff. Also, I might add, I'm looking east from the home weather office. I'm up here on the north side of Chicago, the Edgewater neighborhood. We've got these incredible crawlers. That's lightning that kind of crawls across the sky. Every now and then we get a discharge like that. It is a sight to see, even in the wake of these storms. Are you guys seeing the video?
Yes, we're pulling it up now here, Tom. We can actually take it from the computer here on the anchor desk.
Yeah.
And we can put this on the air. Just going to rewind here.
Sure.
So we can show this video.
Show you this picture too,
there it is.
Jackie.
Oh, my goodness.
The fires, yes. You can see it clearly.
Look at that. This is what I mean. This looks like, I'm presuming,
play that again for you.
that was started by lightning. And we were getting reports of lightning set fires down in Livingston County earlier. But is that something? And look at the phone pole on the left side of that shot right there. It's quite interesting. This is live TV at its best, guys, so we're rolling through these video clips. But it just seems this is an important enough set of video here to kind of underscore the intensity of the storms.
Tom, did you have another video up on your Facebook?
I've got a picture, Taman, that is going up. Here, I'm posting. It's a still shot. This is from, and I'll get the background data from this. This shot is from Naperville, and it has come in from Ryan Wojo is the fellow's name. He said, it's been a while since I've chased. It struck my parents' neighborhood. He's referring apparently to the storm this evening.
Oh, wow. Tom, we see it where the roof has collapsed on this house.
Yes. and this is identified as being in Naperville, just south of 75th Street. He said everybody's okay so far that he's aware of. But look at that. I mean, that's some major damage right there. And I'm continuing to watch social media. I'll keep you guys posted as things continue to come in.
Quick question to both of you guys.
Yeah.
Again, we're seeing on social media, a lot of people are saying in regards to this tornado that apparently may have touched down, that it is an EF2 or an EF3. Is that, you can't determine that right now, can you?
You know what they'll do, Jackie? The Weather Service will send survey crews out. And by the way, this enhanced Fujita scale, the EF scale is being referred to. It's a damage scale. In other words, you can't look at a tornado and say, oh, that's an EF2. What you can do is look at a tornado and see the damage it's done, and from that you conclude that its winds were equivalent to EF2 level winds. So the Fujita scale was designed to be an estimate, a proxy, if you will, for the winds that a storm has produced based on the damage that's been produced by the storms. So when they say it's an EF2, I'm not sure who's drawn that conclusion. Clearly, this damage we're seeing is very severe. And what that will end up being, I don't know. That sure looks like a top-end tornado, a level of tornado damage there. But the Weather Service will dispatch, you can be sure, survey teams today as the sun comes up and assess the damage. And this is all done very, very precisely. And there are very specific criteria that are used and looked for by these survey teams to ascertain what the strength of the storm was and to assign an EF category to it. So, and just let me get the exact wind speeds of an EF2 tornado for you. I always have to check this out. Let me see. An EF2 tornado produces winds of 111 to 135 miles per hour. It's characterizing the damage an EF2 tornado done. They say considerable damage. And that clearly is what we're seeing from some of these early photos and videos that we're looking at right here.
Tom, can we share some photos from DuPage County in the city of Darien, where there's some damage, some photos that, there you go right there. Taking a look here at what the storm did to this residence here in Darien, photos coming into us.
And again, it was around 11:15 when there were reports from spotters saying an extremely dangerous tornado touched down around Darien and Woodridge around that time, 11:15.
Yes.
Well, I think just to kind of recap there, if you had those pictures that we had just shown, I don't know if there's a way to kind of slow them down so people can notice really what was going on. For instance, that garage shot. When I first saw it, all I saw was the water on the ground. Then you looked a little bit closer, and you noticed that was the garage door had been blown in just a little bit on that picture that we had just shown. You can see there just above the roof of the car, and then this appears probably that a roof had come off. There's some ceiling damage there from insulation being dropped down into somebody's home. Looks like maybe even a child's bedroom. So yeah, certainly some very strong winds there. There's been a lot of pictures that are being shared out there and videos, and now that this is winding down, it's the middle of the night and people are trying to kind of piece things together. And as you mentioned, Jackie, and all of us have said this, you're trying to move, even if it's around your house. You don't know what's down and what's not. I mean, you walk outside your house and you could have the power line just outside your house that's laying in your yard. So it's a tough situation to try and clean up from. The good news is the threat of severe weather is quickly winding down now. In terms of any warnings that are still ongoing, I'll show you those. The orange polygons, that's where we still have severe thunderstorm warnings. You still may be looking at winds there across parts of maybe Lake County, Porter County, Indiana, LaPorte County, Jasper, Newton counties, maybe 60, 70 miles per hour. And then that red polygon over there in LaPorte County, that still has a tornado warning that's ongoing for those folks. So you have to make sure that to keep yourself protected from that. But now, as you saw, Tom, for instance, the roof of the house pulled off, or anybody that's just got a little bit of damage. You've got rain that may be coming in, and now we're trying to scramble in the middle of the night, and it's dark and it's dangerous, and you don't want anybody getting hurt in the cleanup aspect of this.
No, that's true. And Mike, by the way, Jackie and Timon, I put a couple more photos up that have just come in. One from the Woodridge area, which shows a backlit, what appears to be a backlit tornado on the ground as it was going through earlier. This was posted from Boulder Hill Scanner and Information. If you pull that up, there's also a photo from Ken Wysocki in northwest Indiana showing the broken window in his home. Yeah, there it is, guys. There's the broken window. This is northwest Indiana now, where this shot is from. But look at that tornado, guys, in Woodridge, Illinois, earlier tonight. That sure looks like a tornado, doesn't it? I mean, not much ambiguity to that.
Yeah, and that's where we're at the, with something like that, Tom, we're so dependent on what little light that is out there, and then you're hoping maybe to get a lightning flash or something to try and to light that up. And it's just so difficult. And thank goodness that we have the tools of radar that can see these things, because that was how this all started, was Doppler Radar indicated tornado from the National Weather Service, and then pretty soon you were getting the reports of tornado on the ground, confirmed by a spotter that was out there. And I tell you what, a tip of the hat to the spotters that get out there and go chasing in the middle of the night, because that's the most dangerous time to go do it. Is in the middle of the night. It's just very tough to do. And anybody that does have pictures, send them along to myself or to Tom, or send them here to the station, because we'd love to see them, the videos that are out there as well. We just hope that everybody that went out there and got those videos, took those pictures, they stayed safe. It's always nice when you guys send those along, but we don't want anybody risking their lives to been out there trying to get these pictures or anything.
No. And by the way, Mike, oh boy, I'm going to put this one up momentarily, but I put some storm in progress video up on the page, guys. Jackie and Timon, you might want to look at that. And here comes another one from Woodridge. I'll put this up too, and you can go to it, showing the storm damage that has been done. Let's see, and boy, it's clear the power is out over here as well on this particular shot that will be coming up here momentarily.
And here you are talking about everything going on from all the way west, from Naperville to all the way east to northwest Indiana. We're talking about 60 miles worth of reports of damage through all of these towns between Naperville and northwest Indiana, and certainly beyond that as well.
Oh, no question, Jackie. This squall line started up in Minnesota and southeast South Dakota. And so this thing has been churning along for a little bit of time. And it raced in here, reaching our area around 10 or 12, 10, 11 o'clock, started hitting the area. Came in out west a little sooner. And this thing's been flying along like gangbusters. Let me see. Guys, you know what? Wow. A couple more shots you'll see coming up here momentarily. One, an amazing lightning shot from Burlington, Iowa. This shows the storm when it was still out there. But look at this. If you get a chance, guys, pull up.
Yes,
this,
we are working on it, Tom. The content is blocked. It's shared social media content, but we are working on it.
Gotcha.
I will say though, but a lot of the videos and pictures that I'm seeing on social media tonight are coming from the Woodridge area. May just be because people are got their phones out and getting that video. But Darien also, the Woodridge area, it seems like there's quite a bit of damage there. That's not to say that there isn't extensive damage elsewhere. It's just we're seeing a lot of that right now. You can see things like trees down and smaller things, but also just some of the videos you're seeing that people are sharing that are out there with extensive damage to homes, numerous trees that are down, large portions of homes that are gone. Seeing that somebody's looks like the side of their house where the garage would be is gone. So you've got the door of the garage looks like it's been blown in, and on the side of the house, that wall is gone. So we've got a lot of people that are out there right now that are, in the dark, and parts of their homes are missing. And I, very scary situation, especially if you've got kids in the house or something like that. Something that everybody's going to, a lot of people are going to have to deal with as we go through the rest of tonight.
Yes. So
yeah,
true, Mike.
so it's a matter of seeing this in the light of day to really see the full scope of the damage. You had mentioned much earlier that when was the last time we saw a tornado? Well, there was a sighting of tornadoes, but this was in southern Illinois. That was back in March. But we haven't seen one near us, as you mentioned, since August 2020. So here we go. First day of summer, Father's Day, and look what we've got.
Yeah.
And
true, Jackie.
Yeah,
well, the lid. Normally our big months are April, May, and to a lesser extent June, and March gets in there too. It's a very late start to the season. The southern states have taken the brunt of this tornado season, time and again, but it's finally gotten up into our neck of the woods, and it had to happen. No question about it.
They are saying, Woodridge police, by the way, saying that please stay away from Janes Avenue and Woodridge Drive. To avoid that area, there's quite a bit of damage in that area, trees down, possible power lines down, so don't go out there. Woodridge seems to be hit the hardest. We are hearing a lot of information about that area.
The National Weather Service confirming that at 11:11 tonight near Route 53 and 75th Street, a tornado was confirmed there. They suspect also Naperville likely had tornadoes as well, but it was confirmed from the National Weather Service that it hit Woodridge, and we are only now beginning to assess the damage. It was remarkable, too, to get the warning to spread to northern Cook County, because we know from just last year we can get tornadoes in Chicago. We can have damage. I know, Tom, Mike, you guys remember that very well. Rogers Park.
That was just last August.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went there. It was a very small area. Basically, the park itself in Rogers Park was what was significantly damaged, with trees snapped off and different things. And somebody got a video of that as it went through. So that gives an indication of how long ago it was that we've had to deal with something like that. And Tom had mentioned this before. Now it's going to be up to the National Weather Service to piece this together. Now, mind you, we're seeing things winding down, and a lot of the warnings are expiring or canceled. But they've already said 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. They're hoping to get some preliminary information out there. Then they're going to make sure to get their survey teams together, and then they can go out and take a look at this. Now, mind you, if you got damage to your home and maybe a wall's missing or something like that, or part of your roof is missing, it doesn't make a huge difference tonight whether there was a tornado or if it was straight line winds. You're still stuck in the same situation. So hopefully everybody kept themselves safe. This particular map still showing that we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in place for parts of northwest Indiana. That's the orange polygons, but those have been canceled, actually expired. So I'm not sure why those are still showing up, but the only thing that still is in effect is that red polygon there in LaPorte County, and that is for a tornado warning that I would be really surprised if that's not allowed to go away here shortly. So I think we've gone beyond now our warnings, and we're focused on the cleanup. It seems to me like most of the worst of it is now behind us. Heavy rainfall, yes, but I think the worst is certainly behind us. Would you agree, Tom?
Oh, I think so, Mike. However, I would say this. It is clear the rain is coming down in buckets down to the south of us. It looks like from, Kankakee County across into northern Newton and parts of Jasper County, southern Lake County in Indiana, and LaPorte County, and eastward, southern Porter County, too. Boy, I'll tell you, those areas are getting, now that would be largely a rural and agricultural area, but there are communities in there. And those folks are getting a healthy rain, to say the least. No question about it. But, Mike, you're absolutely right. I think the severe weather threat has passed over much of the area. Lightning is often a good proxy of how intense these storms are. When you see prolific lightning, that's often a sign the storm is really cooking away. And the lightning's still pretty impressive down south of us. But it's, here in our area and west, that'd be Chicago and areas west, out in DuPage, Kane, Kendall counties, DeKalb County and farther west, Leogal, McHenry, Lake County, Illinois. It's, the storm threat is passed in those areas. Now it's a matter of assessing the extent of the damage that has occurred there. Jackie and Tamon, are you able, these photos that are sent to me on Facebook,
yes.
I think we have to worry about the copyright issues on these because these are directed to us, and folks understand that these are going to be put out in the public domain.
I think there's another one that you've uploaded that if the control room would just take the Acre computer, we could show you. We also are getting some pictures from Woodridge we want to share in just a moment, but here we go. What is this, Tom? Who sent this?
This is from Woodridge, and it's another one of these fires, it appears. You notice how dark it is. It's clear the power is out in that area. And so all we're seeing are the flames off in the distance burning right there. This lightning was so prolific. I'm telling you, that can set some fires pretty easily.
I do have a question, though. We keep saying, and we've talked about reports of a dangerous tornado, big dangerous tornado touching down. Is it possible that there were more than one?
Oh, absolutely, Jackie. It is indeed. And this will be the kind of things, this is where the Doppler radar is absolutely indispensable because what these crews that go out from the Weather Service to survey after these storms hit, they can look at circulation patterns over a period of time, and they can actually see the track of the mesocyclone, the rotating thunderstorm, the supercell, and pretty well investigate under those circulation tracks. Terrific pictures, by the way. Boy, if this doesn't tell the story, I don't know what does. But they can see where these things touch down and then, offer us ground truth. Look at the extent of the damage and assess through the damage and the extent of it what the wind speeds are likely to have been that have produced those tornadoes. That the damage that we see from those tornadoes.
Tom, this Burlington, Iowa lightning, my goodness. We've got that up on our Anchor computer here that we can share.
Yeah, that's as the line was out west of us coming in our direction. It was clear. It was interesting, guys. The prolific nature of the lightning as this line was crossing into Illinois was clear. But there have been just a couple of reports of hail in northwest Illinois until it got into our area. And at that point, these cells went tornadic and started producing, large-scale wind damage. But isn't that something? That's a cloud-to-ground strike right there. You can see how you'd ignite a fire from lightning discharges like that. And it's clear from the lightning data that Mike's been showing us all, that the lightning with these storms was prolific. And clearly it set some fires around the area.
Is it possible we could go back to the photos that Sasha Palms had shown us? Again, we keep going back to Woodridge, but that seems to be the bulk of where the damage is. There is also damage in Naperville, but take a look at that. What can cause trees and signs to go down? Just heavy winds, possibly a tornado struck there. We just don't know yet, but such telling photos.
Think about it, Jackie. You've got all these leaves on these trees, and they catch the wind over a broad surface area, so you're concentrating a lot of force on the upper end of these trees. The same with taller buildings. And it's often said when hurricanes go ashore, if you're up in the upper levels of a building, the winds you get are going to be stronger than folks are getting down at street level. The same is true of trees. They stick up into the air and they catch this wind over a broad area through their leaf systems. And, that exerts quite a force. And so, you look at this shot from Sasha palms, as you say, Jackie, and clearly you've had limbs that are broken off there, and
there's a fence.
It's really sad. Remember that
destroyed.
derecho back in August?
Yeah.
That took the tops off trees for that very reason.
Yeah.
Quite dramatic.
More and more photos are coming in. We appreciate the folks that are sending in photos. We'd love to see more.
By the way, Timothy Horman reports to me on social media. He says widespread power outage in DuPage. He said we're in Westmont and the power went out right around the time the Woodridge tornado hit. He said it's still out all this time later. And gosh, I'm looking at a video of the storm coming into Evergreen Park right here. This isn't a damage scene, but it is just a look at how dramatic the winds and the rains were in that area.
Well, here we were talking for days and days of how terrible the drought is. How does this affect the drought? Is the ground too dry to absorb all of this?
You know, Jackie, the problem is, and Mike has been so good about making this point, these storms unleash the rain fast, and it's not the kind of slow, long-term soaking rain that percolates in. So, you know, when you unleash rain at this speed and with this intensity, a lot of it runs off. So, and we're down over a foot of rain in some areas, well over 8 inches since just March. So it's going to take more than just one night's rain to make a dent in it.
Tom,
And
we're
as
looking
of
at
the,
pictures from Naperville now coming in.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have my mic open, if we can take my weather computer, just kind of show you how quickly the rain has fallen. So the weather bug stations that I have up right now are just since midnight. At midnight, it reset itself. So in the last hour and 5 minutes, at Resurrection College Prep High School in Chicago, over 1 3/10 inches, over 1 inch in Benton Harbor over Michigan. Lansing picked up just over 0.8 of an inch, right around 3/4 of an inch in Cherville. And some of those locations are still picking up the rain. Now, what's coming down now is a little bit different than what came down earlier. My hope is, Tom, because we didn't, you know, the worst of the severe weather tonight was south of the areas that so desperately need the rain. When I say that, those areas to the north, like in parts of McHenry County and Lake County, northern sections of DuPage County, or Kane County, where you have the extreme drought going on, then maybe they got to soak some of this in, but the farmers will tell you, you know, that ground out there, the crops aren't very big. I mean, it's just basically concrete, as you had said, and it unfortunately runs off into the ditches before it actually gets an opportunity to help out. But at this point, you know, we'll take a little bit of anything. I will tell you, with some of these straight line winds, especially in northwest Indiana, there's quite a bit of farmland that's over there. Our producer on the weekends, Glenn Wilson, his family farms are down there closer to Bloomington. And they had thunderstorms earlier in the past week or so where the winds were strong enough that it knocked the corn down. So, you know, your heart kind of goes out for the farmers. Yes, they got rain, but if they had strong enough winds, say 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, it may have knocked some of that corn down, so they could have some loss there. But, you know, there's so much that it can happen with these thunderstorms. It's not always good news when you're in a drought to find some rain. And I think, you know, Tom, that I think Frank had mentioned this, that in '88 when we had that severe drought, then all of a sudden the first rain we got was this huge rain, and then there was flooding all over the place. I think it was in August, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's what he had told us.
You know what was interesting about that? The summer had been desperately hot, desperately dry. We had logged 47 90s, 700s. And then all of a sudden we had this cap, this warm air dome that prevented thunderstorm formation. And all of a sudden a little lake breeze came in and bam, it poked one of these cumulonimbus clouds, these thunderheads, through the cap. And thunderstorms then mixed down cooler air with their rain. And from that point forward, every day saw more and more thunderstorms. And the heat was over. I think we only had 1 or 2 90s beyond that early part of August. Even as desperately hot as it had been, and it was terribly dry. So, yeah, it takes, Jackie poses such a good point, you know, in questioning what does this do to the drought. Jackie, the fact of the matter is probably not a heck of a lot in the dry areas, as heavily as it's rained. It's going to take this kind of rain to come repeatedly and hopefully not as heavily. And the problem with summer is your rains come like they did tonight. Boom, you know, really hard and fast with high winds, a lot of severe weather, and you don't get this rain to percolate in, but Mike, the point Mike makes about we'll take anything we can get at this point.
I do want to show folks how much things have changed. What has gone on in the last 4 hours. So when we went on the air at 9 o'clock, we were seeing some thunderstorms that were developing parts of McHenry County, parts of DeKalb County. Now, they had issued a severe thunderstorm watch that was for LaSalle and for DeKalb counties, but that was it. That was going to run until 1 o'clock. Now, if you look at the radar, look at the clock at the top left-hand part of your screen. I'm just going to kind of scrub through here as we get to about the 10 o'clock hour. So there we are at 10 o'clock. We're starting to see more thunderstorms extending from Lake County all the way back to, we'll say, just the very northwestern corner of LaSalle County. At that time, we were starting to see, some indication. I think we'd had maybe our first warnings then. But then as we started to go on through the evening, we got closer to that 11 o'clock hour, and we were actually having a discussion after the 10 o'clock news about whether we were going to, what the potential was of seeing some tornadoes. Well, this is about the time that between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, you see all the lightning that's there, that you start thinking about those areas, parts of DuPage County, into Cook County, when things just took off. I'm going to turn the lightning off for you, and you see the thunderstorms moving through there. And so there you are between, say, 11 and 12 when things really got nasty, and now we find ourselves after 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's just about done. So, kind of give you an idea, take it through one more time. From 9 o'clock until now, you see that line of thunderstorms moving through over the last 4 hours, and the amount of damage they've done in such a short period of time. And once we got through this afternoon, we started looking at the timing with the cold front. It really did seem like between about 9 and 2. Well, there you go. That gives you a pretty good indication. Once it started to get going, there it was, and especially once it got, it crossed 355 and left damage there. So you can kind of nail down the timing. Okay, when did that thunderstorm get to DuPage County in 355? Well, there you are, right around, I think somebody said earlier, 11:11. I think that was one of the times that somebody had mentioned that something had occurred. So there we are at 11:15. You can see where that thunderstorm is that possibly produced quite a tornado right there in the southern sections of DuPage County. So you can see what has gone on here this evening and into the early morning hours has been very impressive. Not something you want to see, but just give you an idea of how we've gone through the evening hours.
By the way, guys, I've just gotten a photo from 77th and Worley in Naperville showing a car on its roof that has been crunched up, sitting upside down in front of a home there.
You have a picture of that?
What's that, Jackie?
You have a picture of that on the Facebook that we can show everyone?
I haven't put it online. Somebody's lifted this off of Twitter, so I'm not certain we have permission to use this one yet, but
well, Tom, we do have some lightning. I want to say this is Lyle. Let me just confirm this, but we will put it up here as soon as we nail down Abby Kessler. That is well. Let's just let it play then. Here, this is right before the tornado hit. Where is she though? Just so Lyle. Okay, very good. So we will let this play. Some lightning here from Lyle earlier tonight.
Wow.
The National Weather Service Chicago sent out a tweet that they'll have preliminary event information on their website or on their Twitter feed by about 7 o'clock. So they'll, Tom and Mike, do what we're essentially doing, which is to get out into the communities, get a sense of what happened and put together an official timeline and give people any warnings about potential danger, because obviously the severe weather has moved east, has moved out of our viewing area, but there's still danger potentially for residents.
Looking ahead, just a quick question, guys. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Will things settle down after tonight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely will, Jackie. We're going to some lovely, cool weather the next couple of days. So, we're done with these storms for a while.
And I think that was the part of the point of making that, like the forecast coming in and looking ahead to tomorrow was these thunderstorms that were going to be produced by a strong cold front. And looking ahead to tomorrow with strong northwesterly winds or breezy northwest winds and temperatures that are going to be about 10 degrees cooler than average. You know, kind of gives you an idea of what's going on here, and you know, Mother Nature kind of setting the reset button in a way. You know, we were warm and we were muggy, and now we're going to be quite a bit cooler than average for a couple of days. And actually, I'm very much looking forward to Tuesday and Wednesday, Tom. Looking like a couple of really nice days, and then we start thinking about the potential for storms later in the week.
Yeah, I know it looks like Thursday later on could get kind of interesting. Guys, by the way, I'm looking at another video right here. A row of cars. This again is out in the Woodridge area, and their windows have all been broken in this. It looks like an apartment complex parking lot right here, with tree branches down everywhere and debris scattered across the parking lot. So there again is that Woodridge area. Somebody just wrote me here. I'm telling you, these reports from folks are absolutely invaluable, because they're a first look at just who's gotten what in the way of damage. But I'm looking for this report I had. I'll find it for you. So, yeah, we're getting reports to come in, and I'm trying to sort through these and talk at the same time, and not doing a very good job of it, I'm afraid.
Well, just as you're looking, just to review, it started a little after 11 o'clock, reports of a tornado touchdown, and it began pretty far out there, out west. Large tornado, Justice, Willow Springs, LaGrange, all of these towns were mentioned as warnings of a tornado touchdown. Bolingbrook, and then, of course, Naperville as well. But as you mentioned, Woodridge, as you can see, this one, I think this picture is from Naperville, the damage from Naperville. Again, strong winds in addition to a report of a tornado touchdown. But the bulk of the damage, as we are receiving from everyone, and thank you viewers, seems to be Woodridge, seems to be centered in an area around 75th, between 75th and 83rd and Janes Avenue. That whole area, and again, pictures from Woodridge, trees down, power lines down, smell of gas leaks. And it hit
Naperville, gas leaks.
Yeah, yep. 60 miles worth of damage that we're reporting on throughout the night.
And that possibly this was multiple tornadoes. That will be sorted out today and in the days to come. A confirmed tornado from the National Weather Service, 11:11 tonight near Route 53 and 75th Street. We saw pictures from Darien. We saw pictures coming in from Lisle. We saw roofs torn off of homes. Garage doors banged in. We anticipate major damage tonight in Woodridge, Illinois, where that tornado touched down.
Well, if you guys are looking at the screen right now, you were talking about 11:11, so I've pulled up our wind detection here, right?
Look at that.
I mean, you can see right there. I mean, there's Woodridge. I mean, it's right in the middle of your screen. And
there it is.
You know, there's your tornado. You see that bullseye right there.
Explain it. The red is the tornado. Is that what you're saying?
No, you know what you look for, Jackie, is the contrast in colors.
Okay.
Colors show the winds going toward the radar and away from it. So you can, it's kind of a proxy indicator that there's a rotary circulation embedded in there. We call that a wind couplet, and it's an area where the winds are swirling around. It's one of the unique aspects of Doppler radar in that we can see winds. You know, most radars just send out pings and that come off of raindrops, but Doppler radars show us the actual movement of winds within the clouds and particles that are moving and blowing around. That is pretty stunning stuff, Mike, you found right there. That's,
well, and certainly we had talked about that earlier. There was the sighting and also the debris left on 355. Well, you'd only have to jump ahead here just 5 minutes. You go from here, Woodridge, to where the brighter area is. Well, it may have weakened a little bit, or it went right across I-55. Some of the areas you had said Darien. Okay, well, there's Darien. If we continue on here, while and once again, there's the bright bullseye as they get ready to cross I-55. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen some reports of debris on I-55 as well. But you see that, almost like an orange against the green here as we're wrapping this storm up. And we're talking about in a short period of time. And look at that, as it got over to Burlington. This was, it's all there. It was just a matter of trying to keep track of it. Also, I said this earlier, it absolutely stinks that this was the middle of the night. But if this had been 5:30 in the evening with the amount of people that travel on 355, 55, and you're talking about where 55 and 294 come together, the amount of people that would have been on that road, I mean, it just kept itself together so well. And now you get over to Burbank and you're not getting, it's not as, while you still have some rotation there, it certainly isn't as impressive as what it was earlier. But in a short period of time, you're only talking about 15 minutes about how quickly it traveled over those areas that are very populated. And then approaching, Evergreen Park, for instance, and then you look down towards Alston. There was many signatures there that you looked and said, there's a lot of wind going on, and boy, there are just so many people that could be in harm's way. All you can do is pass the information along and hope that people have the NOAA weather radios. If this is a wake-up call, we've seen, had emails and social media posts that have appreciated what we've been doing in keeping people up to date on what's going on, but we can't come and wake you up. We always appreciate when you tune in to us, and we want to be with you through these storms like this, but 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, most people are asleep, and that NOAA weather radio, it's programmable, it's going to wake you up. My wife, for instance, it was on her phone that it told her, hey, you've got a tornado warning.
You know what else is fantastic? They're feeding it through our cell phones now, too. And so these alarms go off on our cell phones, and that's incredibly helpful. By the way, this just posted social media. Mary Kalmanek reports her brother lives in Woodridge, east of James Avenue and south of 75th Street. She says the entire street lost their roofs, significant damage to his subdivision. So there again, Mike, that's that area you were just showing us. Same thing in there. And, somebody saying earlier weather reports mentioned nothing about a possible tornado, just thunder and lots of rain. Not true. The risk of a tornado has been mentioned, since this afternoon. So there were mentions of that. Some folks may have missed it, but there really was an indication. We knew we had a system that was going to have to be watched for that. No question about it.
The various types of alerts, just being in my vehicle at 10:50 tonight on the radio, on every radio station, in fact, there was an alert to pay attention and to be aware. This was, of course, before the tornado happened, before the weather system hit us. And you also on your Facebook, you have a picture of some lightning here from Aurora that is on the anchor computer. There it is right there. And I guess what people probably want to know at this hour is, has the lightning moved out?
Oh, you can see it, Timon, on the loop that Mike has running there. It's down south of us now. It's down in the Rensselaer area. Goes across into Knox County. So, our far southern and eastern suburbs are getting in on it. But it's out of the city, although I'm looking out over the lake here from the north side of the city, and every now and then we get this dramatic discharge out there. These little crawlers that go across the sky. It's the most interesting thing to watch. And that usually occurs after you've passed the mature stage of a thunderstorm. Instead of the lightning charges going cloud to ground, they kind of crawl across the sky. That's the name and the designation. But it's really quite dramatic yet. On occasion, it's just not continuous anymore.
We were getting earlier reports from ComEd, 35,000 people without power, as many as 5,000 in Woodridge without power. We've mentioned Woodridge quite a bit. There is also damage, power lines down we're seeing on social media in Plainfield, in Darien, all along that corridor, that southwest suburban corridor was deeply affected by this pattern, by this tornado, by these severe thunderstorms. The lightning, it's amazing to me to see on your radar the amount of lightning strikes.
Yes, it really is, Jackie. And, you know, when you think that lightning like that has occurred across the state, the whole northern end of the state, and it originated out in Iowa and southern Minnesota. The squall line started forming there early this afternoon, even as it was pretty quiet in our area through the afternoon. We never did pop the afternoon storms. Mike and I had talked on the phone earlier today because we were watching this and want to be ready. And it was clear that the stuff this afternoon just didn't cook. But, boy, it certainly...
So why is that? Was that a different weather system, or it just took more time to develop? How did that play out? I think a lot of people were focused on the afternoon. And then I think maybe thought around dinner time we were in the clear since we didn't get what we thought we would get, what Mike was warning us about Saturday in the afternoon.
Well, you know, you get these triggers that occur, and there can be a lot of things that trigger a thunderstorm. Often it's a wave in the atmosphere. You know, jet streams are not of uniform strength, and you get these pockets of strong winds. And interestingly enough, they set up the vertical motions that can lift air, cool it, and produce these towering cumulonimbus clouds. So what happened there was this afternoon, we produced a cap. We were on the front side of a speed match, and on the front side of it, the air sinks. And so you had synoptic scale or large-scale sink that defeated the buoyancy of the air producing any thunderstorms. But then once that speed match moved on, the sinking motion it induced in the atmosphere disappeared, and bam, the lid came off this warm, humid air. Up it went, and these thunderstorms erupted all of a sudden. So it's kind of interesting, Taman. That's why we look so carefully at these upper air reports, and our models forecast those. You look at these pockets of strong winds, because you oftentimes get indications of where the storms will finally blow up. But I think it was a bit of a surprise that this wind maxima had as much of a dampening effect on the afternoon range, but it certainly didn't this evening.
Yeah, when that cold front arrived, Tom, it really did. You know, it took off, and was looking back at, you know, you were talking about that cap at 5 o'clock. It was 80 degrees at O'Hare, and the dew point was at 70. At 9 o'clock, it was still 80 degrees at O'Hare, and the dew points were running in the mid to upper 60s. So, you know, the air at the surface was very similar. I mean, it was still very buoyant. It just needed something to kick it up into the air, and you know, and certainly it did. I mean, with that front arriving, boy, it just started going and going, and it has been quite amazing in the last 4 hours what it did.
You know, we calculate an energy parameter in the atmosphere. It's called CAPE. Convective energy parameter, and it was up around 3,500 joules per kilogram this afternoon in this area. And what that means is the air was buoyant, wanted to rise, but again, that cap had encountered a cap above the ground that, even though it had all that energy pent up in it, with all that humidity and the buoyancy that's brought on by warmth, the cap, the warm layer aloft, and the fact that it was sinking underneath that speed max was enough to defeat thunderstorm development. But once you took that cap down, even though it was late at night, you know, the whole thing took off. It exploded into action. And shows, you know, it doesn't always indicate, it doesn't always mean that daytime heating that you're going to get the thunderstorms. It sometimes happens at night when the other conditions come together. And as Mike said, there was a front in that, so the winds were converging along the front. When winds converge, they pile up the air down at ground level, can't go into the ground, so it starts to rise. And the minute you take humid air and lift it, it cools off, and that's when you get these cauliflower-like cumulonimbus clouds from which thunderstorms emanate. And then, if the cauliflower cloud is ascending into a powerhouse jet stream that's blowing at a slightly different wind direction than down at ground level, it's called vertical wind shear, then there's a tendency for the rising column of air to begin to spin or rotate. And that's when you get the entire thunderstorm to rotate. We call those supercell thunderstorms, and those are the ones that lay down the tornadoes and oftentimes are responsible for the strong gusty winds. And that's what happened this evening. We had these supercellular thunderstorms suddenly erupt and come racing in here at highway speed. And, all the elements were there. You had this pent-up energy from all this day of high humidity and dew point that Mike was talking about, and the lid came off. And so the thing went nuts on us. And, boy, the ability of these storms, when they start cooking like that, to damage is something. And then you also get prolific lightning when it's so warm and humid, and you get such well-developed thunderstorms. And so it's pretty clear that we're going to, I think, hear more about the fires that were set by all this lightning. It's really pretty amazing. Some of these shots that are emerging are pretty amazing, showing these fires in the wake of these storms.
You know, a reminder from Woodridge police and authorities probably all up and down the line here in the southwest suburbs. They're asking people to stay indoors. Do not go outside. There is plenty of debris out there. We're hearing so many reports of structural damage, and that also includes, fallen trees that may have been halfway fallen but could fall all the way down, not to mention power lines down. And in addition to that, we have to be mindful of the flooding as well. By 12:30, 2 inches of rain had fallen near O'Hare Airport, and that's north. Can you imagine how flooded it must be further south? So you've got flooding, you've got fears of power lines down. Just wait until the lights and wait until authorities have cleared the area before anybody goes outside. It's very important.
Well, Woodridge Drive is an absolute mess. The police department in Woodridge saying that streets may be impassable due to debris and first responder activity. So if you have to go into work, you work an overnight shift, an early morning shift, please be very careful. You're getting a warning there. On John Cale and Woodridge Drive, there are reports of multiple homes torn apart. It is a dangerous situation as first responders try to assess the damage, as homeowners try to clean up. Just be aware, be alert. Maybe you live in that area and your home was spared. You were kept safe, but your neighbors are having a tough time this morning assessing the damage and figuring out exactly what's going on. Just want to keep everybody safe there. That is where this tornado is confirmed to have hit in Woodridge, Illinois at 11:11.
Well, the National Weather Service just a little bit ago released a preliminary what we call an LSR, a local storm report, and to kind of give you an idea of this very widespread. So, for instance, 1 mile south of Burlington, you had County Line Road was blocked by power lines between 83rd and 87th in Burlington. Probable tornado there. You had another area, Lamont Road, for instance, in the Woodridge area, blocked by debris between 83rd and 75th in Darien. Probable tornado from earlier this evening. You had Downtree over in South Haven, Porter County, Indiana. So now we're going over to Indiana. Downtree caused structure damage on Eagle Creek Road in South Haven. Again, you had numerous power lines down in Portage. Another area, tree damage in Portage. So you've got several locations where this is another one out of Darien saying that probable tornado, and that's certainly what it looks like. By all indications, near the Woodridge area, multiple spotter reports of damage to trees, structures, power lines near 75th and Janes and Woodridge, debris on I-355 from the probable tornado. Again, that was coming, around 11:12 this evening. So you've got several locations. There's a lot of spots out there that, like you said, multiple trees, multiple streets that are blocked due to tree damage in Plainfield, near Center and Amboy. So this is, a lot of spots, and Tom had brought this up a few times as well. Naperville, DuPage, 3 people injured, 3 injuries with gas leaks reported. That's a scary situation there, and it's a lot of locations that have been hit tonight.
Hey, Mike, one thing, too, this just in by way of social media. Tornado sirens going off again in Cedar Lake, Indiana. So there's that's that stuff we see on the radar down south in our far southern suburbs. So tornado sirens going off again in Cedar Lake, Indiana. That report came in about 1:21, so it's about 10 minutes ago.
I'm surprised. Well, there are no. If anybody's watching, you hear a siren going up. There are no warnings currently in effect around here. So if there is, if that's going on, we do not. Now, I brought this up because these are some of the earlier ones, or some of the storm reports from across the region. You can kind of get an idea of that line where the strongest line of storms went through. Basically, you jog on 88 and then down across the northern section of the northwest Indiana. That's where we're seeing the most reports here when it comes to damage tonight.
3.16 inches of rain down 2 miles southwest of Mount Prospect, and 60-mile-per-hour winds were clocked a mile north of Roselle earlier tonight. Those are some reports that have come in.
You mentioned that rain, Tom. We've seen pictures, we're working to get it, of flooding along I-55 at Kedzie. So the morning commute is going to be an absolute mess as we sort of get a sense of where this may have hit around expressways getting in to the Chicagoland area in the morning with some, particularly if you have 55 at Kedzie flooded, traffic is going to have to reroute there, and that is going to be a very difficult situation for people in the morning, and is really going to affect the Monday morning commute as people get back to work here. Maybe some people went to bed, weren't aware, they lived in an area where they didn't hear the siren, but potentially their morning commute is going to be affected by all of this.
Well, and the debris as well, Timon. You make a good point. Here's a report 1 mile south of Burlington. County Line Road blocked by down power lines between 83rd and 87th in Burr Ridge. Probable tornado. Time estimated there was 12:20 this evening. So that's just in. Here's 1 mile southwest of Portage. Numerous power lines in northwest Indiana downed in Portage. And thunderstorm wind damage in LaPorte over in Indiana. Several reports of trees downed across the county. And even over in South Bend, there's been several limbs down. There's been thunderstorm wind damage that far east. Here's a 65-mile-per-hour gust over by Kalamazoo, Michigan. Actually, it's in Lawton, Michigan, not far from there in Van Buren County. So it gives you an idea of the scope of the damage that's been done here.
And I think, too, one of the things that we had talked about with the tornado that happened last August in the city, and now you've had tornadoes in more highly populated areas. And obviously, our metro is growing, but the tornadoes don't just stay out in rural areas. They get to places where people are living, because more and more places that used to be rural are no longer rural. And I tell you what, Tom, if we get out of this and we find out that there were maybe only 3 injuries, boy, did we dodged a huge bullet. I hope that ends up being the case, because for the areas that this possibly large tornado went through, so many things could have been so much worse than what we've heard so far. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it can happen here. It does happen here, as we've seen tonight.
Well, Mike, and as we all know, when you have damage that apparently is as serious as that which has occurred in some parts of the area, communications go out. I mean, power's out. You wonder if we're getting all the reports out of there yet, because clearly if people have had homes destroyed and all, they're not in a position to call that in. Here, by the way, is now this is interesting. 1 mile east-southeast of Addison. This is a report from earlier. Tree damage near Lake Street and Villa Avenue in Addison. They say that was a possible tornado. So, that extends. I told you about that picture we saw of the car on its roof. The car badly damaged in Naperville up on Worley Road out there. So, it's not just Woodridge. There are other areas, too, and you made that point so beautifully and so visually, Mike, when you looked at the velocity scan out of that Doppler radar. That was as well-defined a couplet In other words, as well defined a tornado signature of a radar signature of a tornado as we've seen for a little while. No question about that.
But as far as you both know, there seems to be conversation of only one tornado.
Yeah, but Jackie, don't take that to the bank yet. You know, you often find when the crews get out and start looking at it, and also when we get away from the stress of a breaking weather situation, and the Weather Service meteorologists can look at these velocity scans in greater detail, they may find that there was more than one. Now, we'll see. You're right. I mean, so far it seems from the early reports, which are no doubt incomplete at this early stage, given the damage that's occurred and how recently it's occurred, relatively speaking, there may be more out there. So it's going to be very interesting. The coming 24 hours is going to bring us a wealth of information on just precisely how many tornadoes, if there was more than one, did occur in the area.
And I will say, too, as these warnings were coming in as fast as furious as they were, and some of them overlapping, where you would have one that maybe was for part of DuPage, Will, and Cook County,
right,
and one that came in right afterwards, it was for DuPage and Cook County. And I will admit that at times I had to stop myself tonight and look and go, okay, which one of these warnings am I actually talking about? Which cell is moving at 45 miles per hour as compared to one that's moving at 60 miles per hour? And trying to differentiate, because they were coming very quickly, and I think you're dead on with that, Tom. And we often see that was an area that we're so focused right now on Woodridge, because that's where we're getting information from, that there may have been a little EF0, EF1 that did some damage somewhere that nobody's even noticed yet. You get up in the morning and go, oh, there was a tornado there last night. We've seen that happen before as well.
We have a new picture to share, in fact, from Woodridge that we're going to put on the screen here for viewers. That is at John Keel and Woodridge Drive, which we told you there are reports of multiple homes torn apart. Officials say stay away from this area. You may run into down power lines or crews trying to do their work. You can see, boy, that roof is gone. That home torn apart. We certainly hope that people got out of the house or got to the lower level, got to their basement, and are safe. Naperville, we're trying to figure out if perhaps there was a tornado there as well. There are reports of people injured, people taken to hospitals, some residents evacuated to nearby shelters. There are reports of gas leaks in Naperville as well. So major damage in the western suburbs of Chicago.
And you know, it's interesting. We have database services that we rely on that take these LSRs, these local storm reports that are filed by the Weather Service, and plot them for us so we can see quickly where this has occurred. You know, it's interesting. I've got the plot of all the severe weather reports. There isn't a single tornado icon on here. In other words, it's so early in the game here that even though we have sidebar reports that there were tornadoes, and we know there were at least one, but they haven't been formally filed yet. So what that says is we're at the early stage of assessment. This just in Bolingbrook, public reported tree damage there. Also 2.1 inches of rain out at DuPage Airport in West Chicago. So we'll start seeing, Taman, I think as we get farther along on this, that we'll be able to identify which of these, was in fact a tornado. But boy, you look at that damage. That has all the earmarks of tornado damage. Some of these shots that we've been putting up, it's pretty amazing.
It seems to me that there's no question that a tornado touched down. It was confirmed. It's a question now of how damaging it was. Was it an EF2? Was it an EF3?
So true, Jackie. Yep. And gosh, you know, I remember when Barneveld was hit. Back in those days, Eddie Schwartz was on doing our all-night show on GN Radio, and we were watching, Barneveld's a little community out west of Madison, Wisconsin, and we saw this incredible thunderstorm complex coming together on satellite and radar imagery, and yet that town was so terribly injured, they were literally cut off from the rest of the world, and it wasn't until the following morning that we found out how devastated that town had been by the tornado that went through there. That was a horrendous storm. But what it shows is the lag time between the occurrence of this severe weather and the point at which we're able to tell you exactly how many storms there were or what the nature of the damage.
It takes time. Here is some video of the storm damage in Naperville.
Wow.
This is just coming into our newsroom. As you can see, my goodness.
Wow.
Just a vehicle there destroyed by another vehicle
an
flipped over.
upside down
There it
vehicle.
is.
Yeah, this.
Imagine how strong that was to flip a car upside down like that. My
Look
goodness.
at that.
Based on that video, gentlemen, does that not appear to be a tornado strike?
You would sure.
Yeah.
You know, Jackie, what'll be interesting? Look, straight line winds can be devastating. You know, these downbursts, which are straight line winds, have taken down acres of forest. I mean, flattened it like a giant had put his giant foot down on the forest and crushed it over acres. And so I think Mike made this point earlier. The nature of the damage, you know, and how it's arrayed you know, it's distributed, will tell on-site storm team investigators whether or not it was a rotary wind that did it or it was a straight line wind. But at some point, either of these winds can be equally devastating. And in some regard, it's kind of, they all roar like a freight train. You know, it's not unique to tornadoes. Straight line winds will roar like a freight train too. But you've got to say, just looking at that tornado and what we know of tornado damage over the years, that, boy, it sure looks like the kind of damage you'd expect was done by a tornado.
Yeah, and I would say too, Tom, not just by looking at just the buildings, but one of the indications I often see is we've seen some bigger trees there, and they weren't uprooted. I mean, there's one that was uprooted, but earlier in this video we've been playing here, there were trees that were snapped off. You know, like you're seeing there, but some other ones. You see the one there on the right that was snapped off, and often when you get a tornado, they're not rolled over. You know, they're not uprooted. They're snapped like that. And certainly,
look at that.
It's pretty amazing to see, you know, cars tossed around basically like toys.
Well, certainly.
1 year
No, go ahead.
after Plainfield was hit, we went, and I remember the trees, a year after that devastating tornado, looked like that scene we just saw where the whole tops of all the trees were taken off. Trees are completely denuded. They're, you know, the leaves are swept off them. And look at all the projectiles that made contact with that wall right there. See, that's why these storms are dangerous. You go out there, and that's why we tell you to get inside and get to a lower level, because all that stuff is blowing around. They're like bullets in the air flying through in these storms. And if you're hit by these projectiles, they could be wood, glass, metal, you name it, branches of trees. You know, it's like spears are coming at you. And that's why you want to, if you're stuck outside, you can't get inside, the best thing to do is lay flat, hopefully in a ditch. But look at that tree there, the way it's been just, you know, the top's been taken off. That's kind of the earmark of the many tornadoes, post-storm scenes I've seen after a tornado. Wow.
And we have some good news as well. Now, all warnings, all watches, all expired. It's done. So all we have left now is just a little bit of rain, some thunderstorms there near Rensselaer. But you know, we've finally gotten to the end of any potential of any severe weather or anything like that. Yes, there's still a little bit of rain in northwest Indiana, and some of it is coming down pretty hard. But you know, we're finally. We had said we thought it'd be all done by, say, 2 o'clock. Well, the rain is almost done, and we are approaching the 2 o'clock hour now. And here we are, people in the middle of the night, trying to pick up pieces. What I thought was amazing, you see that the video and the pictures we're seeing there, is you see the trees snapped off, but the window is still, the light's still on at the house. So maybe some of these folks were fortunate that even though the trees were broken off, that maybe the power stayed on.
Amazing.
That you know, makes such a huge difference of just not being stuck in the dark.
Just a point of reference, by the way, the distance between Naperville and Woodridge is a mere 6 miles. And I think you had mentioned that it was a fast-moving storm, around 45 miles per hour. I know there's some math that you can do into that, but just imagine how quickly and how much damage it did within that amount of time and within that distance of roughly 6 miles. And that's only Naperville to Woodridge. All of the other towns that we're going to see that will also see some damage that we will see in the light of day, as you say.
Jackie, you make such a good point. You know, we put a stopwatch to the Washington, Illinois tornado that hit outside Peoria. That was the one that we feared might come up during a Bears game a couple of years ago in the fall. We put a stopwatch. Somebody had videotaped the tornado coming toward their subdivision, ran into the basement, kept the videotape recorder going. You could hear the building coming apart on top of it. Do you know, they then went up the stairs, and in 13 seconds, their entire neighborhood had been reduced to rubble. 13 seconds. That's how fast these things work. It's just incredible how fast these tornadoes do their terrible deed. No question about it.
And we had actually showed that earlier when we were showing the velocities there. We could show you that bright ball, basically was the best way to describe it, that was in Woodridge at 11:11, and it's all the way to Burlington 10 minutes later. I mean, there's nothing to impede it.
No.
It doesn't have to stop at stop signs and everything like that. I mean, it just goes about its business. And certainly tonight, you know, to have forward speed on some of these, reaching up to 60 miles per hour, which was, you know, the forward speed on the storms, not necessarily the tornado, but that's very fast moving. That's well above the average forward moving speed for a tornado. I mean, well above that. It could be 60 miles per hour. So it does not give you very much time to protect yourself.
I can't get over the damage done to those walls. I mean, you know, by what were clearly projectiles in the air. Look at that. I mean, it's like it was sprayed with machine gun bullets. It's stunning.
You know, in about 4 hours from now, we're going to get a brighter picture of what has happened throughout the night. And we're talking about thousands of people who are affected by this, some directly because of the damage, others because they're going to be without power. I guess those who are without power, they're not going to be dealing in stifling heat. That is, I guess, one positive that you can think of.
Yes. How true, Jackie. You know, often when a hurricane strikes, you know, we think of storms going through and then turning cooler up here in the middle latitudes. But gosh, these folks who deal with these hurricanes, and Mike was down in New Orleans when Katrina hit, among other storms, and it gets hot and sticky and all the rest. So you not only lost your power and your ability to air condition, but you're in this incredible, interminable heat that actually can get worse after the storm passes. We'll not be dealing with that in this case, which is fortunate. But, boy, you're right, Jackie. It's hard to fathom how many people have been impacted by this tonight.
And we'll start to get a sense of that when day breaks. We certainly know that just from those pictures from Naperville, that there are thousands who were impacted.
Well, you had mentioned Naperville. Just coming from the National Weather Service, the emergency manager there said now there are 4 that were injured.
Wow.
That updates the previous report. So 4 total injuries requiring transport to hospitals. All were non-life-threatening, and 12 houses damaged. Multiple large trees down, and they're again saying probable tornado damage. But I think we're probably we can say probable tornado damage, and we're getting more and more. Obviously, we'll wait until the National Weather Service gives us the definite, but I think we're pretty certain that this was a tornado tonight. More than one, more than likely.
And you know, Mike, we saw that one shot. I mean, that was almost certainly a tornado. You know, it was illuminated back